There are 3 easy steps in creating your resume link. Let me show you how.
Step 1. Register. Go to www.jobs180.com using any browser and click Register Now. Fill out all the information needed. In choosing your resume link, use your full name so that it looks professional and it's easy to recall by potential employers. For example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz.jobs180.com. Step 2. Create and design. When creating your resume, make sure to complete your personal information and upload your profile picture. One of the highlights of the resume link is the portfolio section. In the portfolio section, you can show off your skills by uploading samples of your work like documents, pictures, videos, and your social media links.
Your resume link also features different themes and you can upload a cover photo. This is a combination of a cover letter and a social network cover photo. Here is an example. You can also download a copy of your resume link and print it. Step 3. Apply for a job. There are many ways to apply with your resume link.
First is browsing the job recommendations in your Jobs 180 dashboard.
If you're qualified, click Submit Resume Link. So what are you waiting for? Dress up your next generation resume, stand out brightly among the competitive job seekers in the market, and win the heart of your future employers using Resume Link.
Happy Thursday, people! Welcome to Rizal Interior Session. We are live today for Jose Rizal University. So today we have speakers joining us from Factset, Oracle, Ernst and Young Global Delivery Services, Cognizant, and Optum. So before we start, feel free to join us for the opening prayer, national anthem, and hymn Rizal.
Praise God from whom all blessings flow. Praise Him, all creatures here below.
bayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Thank you for that, Tech. Now, to deliver the opening remarks, we'd like to give the floor to Dr. Alan Galvez, Dean of the College of Business Administration and Accountancy. Dr. Galvez will put you on spotlight.
Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Guidance and Testing Office led by Director Lorraine Parange for inviting me to give this for inviting me on this special event. Do you know that you are in demand? The job market is so huge. Let me enumerate the following. There are 300 business process outsourcing companies as members of an association. Each BPO has an average of 1,000 employees nationwide. They need AB English and education graduates, as well as IT, engineering, and psychology graduates. There were 23,176 vacancies in accounting in the year 2022. There are 1,000 vacancies for criminology graduates every year, needed by the Bureau of Correction. There are 31 upcoming hotels from 2022 to 2023, and there are 2,147 hotel vacancies in 2022. Good luck, hospitality and tourism students. There were 7,896 vacancies for IT graduates in 2022. For nursing graduates, there are 194,500 job openings per year for USA only. That is USA only. How about Canada or United Kingdom? In sales and marketing, there are 8,428 job openings in 2022. I do hope that all of us will be inspired by our upcoming careers and never give up, dear students. Keep up the Husay Rizal values. Thank you very much for inviting me to give an opening statements for this wonderful event. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the presentation.
Thank you for that, Dr. Galvez. Would also like to thank you po for gracing this event. Have a great day, sir. Thank you. Okay, so to everyone, we'd like to welcome you to today's webinar. So I'm Shari and I will be hosting the event today. So as usual, to our audience, we'd like to know where you're from. You can already see the comments. No? Thank you, thank you, thank you. So keep it coming. Attendance and evaluation will be released at the end of this session. So please tag your friends so they don't miss out on this event today. So the recordings of this webinar will be posted via jobs180.com Facebook page and YouTube channel, and it will also be available via the Resilient Career and Placement Facebook page. So we'd also like to acknowledge the help of Dr. Galvez and Ma'am Lorraine of the Guidance Office for helping us organize this event today. So here's our schedule for this this afternoon. Ayan. So first, we will be discussing job applications using the resume link. This will be discussed by Sir Kim. Surviving the internship program, to be discussed by Factset. What to do next after graduation, to be discussed by Oracle. Acquiring professional skills after graduation, to be discussed by um, Ernst and Young Global Delivery Services. Communication skills, to be discussed by Cognizant, and critical thinking, to be presented by Optum. So shout out to everyone who is here. Again, please comment your name and course. And then as we go along, we encourage you to type in your questions so we can read it after each speaker's talk and we can discuss from there. Okay, so let's go to our first speaker. So our first speaker for this afternoon is Sir Kim Chua. He is the managing director of jobs180.com. He has 20 years of experience in sales, marketing, business development, customer service, operations, business process, and human resources. He is a trusted resource speaker and he has done over 1,000 career development seminars in more than 400 plus colleges and universities nationwide. So, Sir Kim, you know the drill. Please take it away. I give you the floor.
Hey everyone, good day to all of you. My name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa, baka Kim Chu lang maalala nyo. And I'm here to share to you about the most secure tool for job application. This is how you can market yourself more effectively and the different ways to do that. Okay, so let me start. Now, when you apply, you probably have a checklist if you're using the right tool. So just go along with me if you have the right, if you have the same checklist that I have. So ito yung mga things na like kong tinatandaan, no? Will my tool or will the thing that I'll be using help me to stand out? That's the first item that is very important for me. Kailangan mag-stand out ako kasi dami-dami kong kasabayan kalaban sa pag-apply. Another thing in my checklist is that, do I have more than one file? Because oftentimes I have a lot of files. May academic records, may mga government IDs, ang dami mga kailangan hingiin ng mga companies. So I'd like to put them all in one file. And this tool helps me to do that. Okay, another thing that this tool can do is that it allows me to make the process more efficient. Mas napapabilis yung pag-apply, no? Hindi na napapatagal yung pabalik-balik. So, mas mabilis din syempre tayo maka-move forward. Di ba? And another thing that this tool can do is that wala tong bayad. Mukha lang akong salesman, pero libre po ito. Okay? So, this tool is absolutely for free. The most important in my checklist is that this tool, okay, makes my information secured. And I think this is the most important question. Do you want your information to be secured? I hope your answer is yes. Okay? And so with that, let me show you ano tong tool na ito. This tool is called ResumeLink. ResumeLink by definition is the most secure tool for job application. Okay? This is a personalized URL. It is a link that anyone can open online anytime, provided that they know the link. So let me use an example. If you are John Santos, just in case lang, your name is John Santos, your resume link would look something like johnsantos.jobs180.com. Ganun lang kasimple. So how do you make one? Okay, how do you make one? Now, the first step is for you to register. This is absolutely for free. Wala itong bayad. Okay? So what do? You go to www.jobs180.com and that is where you now register. Okay? As you register, you just simply fill out the information. These are the basic information. You have the account details, you have your personal information, you have your education background, and just in case you have your work experience, whether it's OJT or it's part-time job or whatever yung work experience na yan, then you proceed to that work experience page. Pero pag wala, hanggang dyan na lang tayo sa my education information. Okay? After doing so, you now start to create your resume link. So ano ba ang basihan ng resume link? Kadalasan, ang resume link natin, we base it on our name. We base it on our unique name. Okay? So as an example, if you're John Santos, then you say johnsantos.jobs180.com. Now, what about during scenarios where you create your resume link tapos may nauna sa inyo? May ibang John Santos, may kapangalan ka, no, nauna sa inyo. Ano mangyayari? Magkakaroon na red na box. Sasabihin niya, this name has already been taken. Now, okay, malungkot pag taken na. Okay lang, maging creative lang kayo ng konti. Pwede mo balik na rin. Pwede mo sabihin Santos John. Okay, you can also say Santos J. O kaya J Santos. O kaya JS, di ba? Or SJ. Depende sa link na gusto mo gawin. Basta importante, wala kang kapareho kahit kayo may kapangalan. Now, another thing I'd like to emphasize here, wag po kayong OA. Pag gumawa kayo ng resume link, huwag mo gagawin tipong nakalagay, cutie pie, lover boy, Barbie doll, di ba? Because it doesn't sound professional. Imagine going to a company and the HR will ask you, do you have your resume? Tapos sasabihin mo sa kanya, meron po, ang resume ko ay eldiablo.jobs180.com. Di ba? Baka matakot yung HR sa inyo. So I don't recommend that you do something like that. Just stick to your name. Whatever your name is, it will sound professional. Okay? Now, in creating a resume link, you have to use a valid email. Emails like Yahoo, Gmail, Rocketmail, any email, basta nabubuksan nyo, wag na wag ka lang gagamit ng facebook.com na email. Okay? Do not use something like, example lang patrick@facebook.com na email. Do not use patricia@facebook.com na email. Okay? In short, do not use @facebook.com na email. Because if you use @facebook.com, you will no longer be able to receive notifications being sent to you by the companies as well as jobs180.com. Okay? So use something that you can open. Why is it important for you to open your email? Because you have to verify your account. Okay? Remember, pag nag-verify, yan ang ebidensya na ikaw nag-register talaga. Yan ang proof. Diba? And at the same time, if you verify your account, then you'll be receiving notifications from the companies as well as Jobs180. If you do not verify your account, hindi nyo na po marireceive yung mga notification ng mga companies. So, sayang naman. Diba? Might as well verify your account first. Okay? Now, you're done with the first step. After you verify. So, ano na ang second step? Ang second step is the most logical of all the steps. You have to complete all the information. Very logical. Sino sa inyo mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, bungi-bungi detalye? Sino sa inyo magbibigay ng resume sa mga HR tapos kulang-kulang details nyo? I don't think you'll do that because you're just wasting your time. Instead, kumpletuhin yung information nyo bago kayo mag-submit dun sa mga companies. Okay? So, step 2, complete the information. And how do you do that? Punta kayo ulit dun sa website, www.jobs180.com, and this time, you don't need to register again kasi may account ka na eh. What you need to do is you have to log in. Okay? Now, as you log in, you start to put your registered email or your resume link and then your password. Na ikaw lang may alam. Okay? Ganun lang siya kasimple. Now, once you're inside your account, you start to fill in the blanks. Ganun lang kasimple. Fill in the blanks. So, the things that you see here, yung mga contents, napakasimple lang. Yung mga personal details nyo, lagay mo dyan. Diba? All the information na sa tingin nyo relevant, you put it there. Now, I have some emphasis lang on items na madalas nami-miss out ito ng mga aplikante. Ano yung mga yon? Sa contact information, you have to put here all the possible ways na pwede kang makontak ng isang HR. Kagaya ng social media handles nyo. Ba't ko nasabi yan? Because in reality is, pag tinatawagan kayo ng mga HR, madalas hindi naman ina-answer eh. Lalo na pag hindi nyo kilala, pag nag-ring yung phone nyo, hala, sino kaya ito? Di ba, hindi mo kilala. Ano gagawin? Hahayaan mo na lang. Di ba, antayin mo kung may mag-message sa inyo. Eh, paano kung yung HR hindi naman masipag mag-message? Masipag lang siya magtawag. That's why I recommend you put here all the possible means na pwede ka makontakt. Kagaya ng social media nyo. Put your Facebook there, yung mga messenger nyo, mga Twitter nyo, iba pang mga paraan, social media handles para mabilis kayo ma-reach out. Diba? Message na lang. Are you available Thursday, 10 a.m., so on and so forth. You get what I'm saying, diba? So lahat ng paraan, lagay mo dyan. What else do you put here? You also put here yung inyong mga work options. Sa work options naman, you just choose lang, parang yes or no lang yan, parang switch, no? Kung ano yung mga options na gusto ninyo, no? Willing to work night shift, willing to relocate, looking for OJT, you can also put it here. Okay? And then in terms of education, obvious naman, yung alma mater nyo, lagay nyo dito. Diba? Yung mga pampakapal ng resume, sa seminars attended, kahit magkopyahan pa kayo ng mga classmates mo, okay lang. Basta lang make sure, alam nyo na pag-usapan doon sa seminar na yon. Pagdating sa certification, ganun din yan. Walang limit sa space yan. Achievements, recommend ko dito is you don't only put yung mga achievement nyo inside the school. Okay? Kasi hindi naman lahat tayo academically inclined. Some of us are not very active sa school, pero active tayo sa mga social-civic organization. Diba? So, even if it's outside of the school, you can also put it there. As long as you think it is an achievement, you put it there. Okay? Now, in terms of skills and languages, isa-isahin ko lang yan ha. Sa skills, do not limit your skills dyan lang sa course nyo. Hindi perkat education ng course mo, ang ibig sabihin, ang skills na alam mo lang ay magturo. Hindi perkat accounting ang course mo, ang alam mo lang gawin or ang skills mo ay mag-debit, credit at mag-balance sheet. Diba? So, marami kang alam na iba pa mga skills na kahit walang connect sa course, you can also put it here. Sample, photography, diba? Videography, diba? And all the other things, calligraphy, pwede mo ilagay dyan. Okay? When it comes to languages, I'm sure alam nyo, dalawang lengguwahe na. At the minimum, you know English and you know Filipino. If you know local dialect, to be specific, lagi mo Tagalog, Sabacano, Bisaya, Kapampangan, 'di ba? Ilonggo, wala naman limit sa space eh. 'Di ba? If you know foreign languages, put it there. Chinese, Japanese, French, Vietnamese, kung ano man 'yan, ilagay nyo. Because what you're doing is you're trying to market yourself more effectively to the prospective company. Now, when it comes to references, sigurado naman ako yung mga references nyo, kilala nyo. Ang tanong lang dyan, kayo ba kilala nila? Kasi madalas pag tinatawagan namin yung mga references nyo, hindi kayo maalala. Yung pinakamalupit dyan, hindi talaga kayo kilala. Okay, so please advise yung mga references nyo na ginawa nyo silang reference para at least they know what to tell about you. Okay? Now, at this point, I'd like to highlight yung mga things that you don't find in a traditional resume. Ano yung mga yan? Diba? Ito yung mga yun. Let me start with the portfolio section. The portfolio section is where you now upload evidence of your skills. And I think with this day and age, dito pumapasok yung efficiency, no, ng ating application sa mga companies. Because oftentimes, when we apply to companies, marami mga hinihingi, mga pre-employment requirements. They will ask for mga documents, mga proof that is showing na yan talaga yung mga skills nyo. So, kung ano man meron yung mga documents, you can now take a picture, you can scan them, and you can upload it here. Example, government IDs. Diba? Meron ka mga transcripts, academic records. Diba? You can put that there. Okay? Kung meron mga medical clearance na kailangan, ganun din. Hindi na kailangan magpabalik-balik sa company. Oh, ayos ba? Oh, eto pa. Diba? But wait, there's more. Ito na yun. Etong isa pang gusto ko i-recommend sa inyo, yung tinatawag natin selfie video. Nowadays, I think, it is not very difficult to create a selfie video. Diba? Ito may TikTok nga kayo eh. Diba? Alam mo naman paano gumawa ng selfie video. So I don't need to teach you how to create a selfie video. What I need to share to you na lang is yung anong kailangan sabihin pagka gumawa ka ng selfie video. Okay, this time, what I recommend is you say something interesting about yourself. Okay? So, you pretend that you're being interviewed by the HR. Diba? Ano yung mga tinatanong sa atin? Why should we hire you? Diba? Tell me something about yourself. Why should we consider you among all the other applicants? O, di ba? Ang kagandahan ngayon is you create that video for about 1 minute or less. Hindi kailangan sobrang haba, no? Mga 1 minute lang or less. Pero ang maganda rito is na-evaluate na nung HR yung inyong communication skills. If you can speak in English, then I recommend you speak in straight English. But if you cannot, it's okay as long as you're able to show your personality. You can also showcase here yung mga hard skills nyo. Ano yung mga hard skills? Kagaya ng mga video na panood ko dati, pinakita nila how to use a soldering iron, how to properly handle a welding machine, diba? How to fold table napkins. O, ganun, diba? So, depende ko ano yung mga skills na alam mo at depende ko ano yung nasa field mo rin, diba? Na napag-aralan, diba? So, gusto mo magpakita ka paano mag-balance sheet, pwede rin. O, diba? Again, it really depends on what you wanted to show dun sa HR. Ang point is, you don't need to travel back and forth para lang ipakita on the spot dun sa HR yung inyong hard skills. And most importantly, hindi na kailangan magkaroon ng maraming aberya, maraming storbo. Diba? Sometimes when we try to contact you for the phone interview, maingay yung background, hindi marinig. Diba? Mahina signal, maingay, ano nangyari? Nasa biyahe. Diba? Or sometimes hindi magtugma yung schedule. At least with that selfie video, it makes the process now more efficient. Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that you also upload here your profile picture. When it comes to profile picture, you don't need to go to the studio para magpa-picture. Huwag ka na gumastos. Ang importante lang dyan, tumingin ka sa camera, okay, with plain background, at of course, magbihis ka naman ng maayos, di ba? And then, you're good to go. Huwag mo gagawin yung mga nasa right side ng screen ninyo. Those samples that I'm showing you, it doesn't look professional. Imagine, di ba, yung mga selfie, mga nilagay ng avatar, yan, huwag nyo gawin yan. Okay? Huwag nyo gawin yan. It doesn't look nice, doesn't look professional. Okay? Now, another good thing pa with the resume link is that meron tayong tinatawag na cover photo. Ayan, pasintabi sa matatamaan. May iba sa inyo nakikinig ngayon, hindi naman kayo gifted with writing skills. Some of us are having a difficult time expressing our thoughts and feelings into words. So ano pwede mo gawin? You can now use those pictures to represent your personality or to showcase yung inyong skills. Example, look at the one on the left, yung nasa baba. Ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, ophthalmologist, optometrist, or eye expert. Yung nasa kanan, yung nasa taas, ano kaya siya? Sabi ni iba, sir, para siyang admin or clerical work. Or maybe makalat kasi tingnan mo yung lamesa ang kalat-kalat. O, di ba? Again, it depends on the interpretation of the person looking at it. This is an example of someone into HR or maybe into psychology. And this one is an example, it's a very good example, by the way, of someone who wanted to say that there is no shortcut to success. Hindi po yan miyembro na Akit Bahay Gang. Okay? Ang gusto niya sabihin, you will be able to reach yung goal mo by taking one step at a time. Oh, di ba? You get what I'm saying now. So I'm showing you good examples para you can draw inspiration from. And I will also show you not so good examples. Ito yung wag niyong gagayahin. Huwag kayong magpapaka-misteryoso. Okay? Maglagay ka ng picture mo dyan. Lalaki man, babae in between, okay lang. Ilagay mo dyan. Member man tayo ng LGBTQ+, okay lang. You put it there. At least alam ng HR who to expect. A lot of times, yung mga pangalan kasi very interchangeable nowadays. Ako mismo, guilty ako dyan. My name is Kim. A lot of people think babae ako, di ba? Pag iba nababasa ko mga resume, ano nakalagay sa resume nila? Chris, nakalagay George, Alex, Sam, Nick, di ba? Joey. I would assume lalaki. Yung pala, babae. O, di ba? So that's why you better make sure you put your picture there. And wag naman pugot yung ulo nyo pag nalagay kayo ng picture. Dapat kumpleto. Okay? Never leave this blank because if you leave this blank, it will not catch the HR's attention. Trust me. Kung ikaw ang HR, wala ka namang ibang makita dyan, malamang mangyayari dito, next applicant na. Okay? And then if you want to catch the HR's attention, do not create something like this. This is just my opinion. I don't think this looks professional kasi ang dating parang tamad, parang happy-go-lucky, no? Parang chill-chill, walang pakialam sa buhay. Again, that is just my interpretation. Okay? So I showed you the good and not so good examples para you'll be guided. Now, you can just play along later on kung anong sa tingin nyo mas bagay sa inyong background or sa inyong sa gusto niyo ipakita sa personality niyo. Okay? Now, let's examine a very good example. Look at this person, itong eye expert. Bakit maganda itong example ng kanyang resume link? Because all the information you're seeing here, kompleto na. 'Di ba? Hindi ka na magpabalik-balik eh. Kung ikaw yung HR, everything that you need to ask or you want to know about the applicant, you already find it here. If you're the applicant, you might as well put everything there para wag mo na antayin pa yung time na hihingiin pa sa ng HR yung mga documents yan. Baka hindi na mangyari yun. Baka may ibang aplikante na mas assertive, nilagay lahat ng mga information na i-process na siya kaagad. Diba? Now, at this point, I know what you're thinking. You're probably thinking, sir, okay nga tong resume link. Kaso lang, baka naman yung information ko nakakalat na sa buong mundo. Baka naman nakalantad na sa buong internet. Ang sagot ay, hindi. Kaya nga tinawag na the most secure tool for your job application. Diba? Bakit? Because you control your privacy settings. Ikaw mismo, as an account user or as a resume link owner, ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo. And how will that happen? When you log into your dashboard, as you can see in my screen, when you log into your dashboard, you will find the resume link settings. Pagpunta mo sa settings, mapuntahan mo yung privacy settings at dun ka mamili ngayon ng information you want to show or hide in public. So let me use an example. If you don't want to show your birthday, what do? You turn it off. You don't want to show your references, you turn it off. You don't want to show your address, what do? Turn it off. Diba? So yung mga information na in-off mo, hindi lalabas sa public. Now, if ever lang you decide to change your mind, ang maganda dito sa resume link, updated yan, real time. As in real time. So 5 minutes later, you want to show your birthday, turn it on. What happens? Lahat ng mayroong alam ng resume link mo, alam na niya yung birthday mo. Diba? If 2 days later, you want to show your address, you turn it on, you save your profile, lahat ng may alam ng resume link mo, alam na rin yung inyong address. You get what I'm saying? Diba? So, depende na sa inyo kung ano gusto mo on or off. If you want to turn off everything, then okay lang. You can just turn off the button. Enable public resume link, off. Wala nang lalabas sa public. Kahit na anong information. Okay? So, yan ang re-remind ko sa inyo. This, the second step is for you to complete the information, and in doing so, please make sure that your profile is interesting, diba? Yung information mo kompleto at updated ang details nyo para mabilis kayo makontak ng mga HR. Now we go to the last step. Pangatlo na, last step na to. The last step is for you to submit. Now, how will you submit your resume link to those companies? You might be thinking you want to explore opportunities outside of the Philippines. Maybe you want to join some job fairs later on. You want to apply online. You want to, marami, walk-ins, diba? Depende kung ano, kasi bumabalik na yung face-to-face ngayon. So, lahat ng mga ipapakita ko sa inyo, lahat ito, practical application. Lahat yan, makaka-relate kayo. Ano yung first one? The first one is you go online. Of course. Diba? Yan ang fastest way. You just connect via your phone, via kung ano man gadget mo, go to jobs.at.com, search for companies. And by the way, speaking of search, you can only search for company, tatlo lang pwede mo i-search ha. Search for company name, position title, and location. Doon sa search bar, hindi mo pwede ma-search ang resume link. So example lang, ikaw si John Santos, okay? O kaya ikaw si, ako na lang, Kim, halimbawa lang, subukan mo pumunta sa jobs.at.com, doon sa search bar, type mo doon Kim. Tingnan mo kung may lumabas. Malamang sa malamang, walang lalabas. Unless may company name, position title, or location na may word na Kim. Other than that, walang lalabas dyan. Kasi hindi siya searchable. So, the only time a company would be able to know your information is if and when you give your exact resume link to that company. So, ikaw may control. Ayos? So, tuloy natin. Okay, tuloy natin. So, if you're going to search for companies, what do? Just go to the website of jobs.at.com, search for companies. Kung may lumabas, edi meron. Pag walang lumabas, edi wala. Diba? Ganun lang yan. Huwag natin pilitin magkaroon ng something kung wala talaga. Diba? Okay, so anong gagawin? Tingnan mo yung mga companies. Kung meron kang type, edi gawin nyo, check nyo yung opportunities. After that, you now submit your information to that company. Okay, when you submit your information to the company, it will ask for your profile, for your resume link and password. So ikaw lang magbibigay ng consent dun sa company. Okay? Now another option is for you to send resumes via email. Now there's nothing wrong in sending resumes through email. Ang tanong dito is, how are you sending your resumes through email? Do you do it like this? Do you say, "Dear HR manager, I'd like to apply for the following position. This is my resume." Tapos mag-attach ka ng Word file, PDF file, or whatever file you have. If you're doing those attachments pa, ang tawag dyan, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Hindi ko sinabing mali. Ang sabi ko lang, traditional, pampabagal, makaluma. Bakit? Hindi mo kailangan mag-attach anything anymore. If you're going to write an email and send your resume, just simply type your resume link there. "Dear HR manager, I would like to apply for the following position. This is my resume. In this example, Antonio Juan de la Cruz, jobs.at.com, send. Tapos na. Ganun lang kabilis. Diba? Whatever changes you need to do, you put it inside your resume link. You don't have to keep on sending another attachment. Paano kung imagine mo na lang, nag-attach ka ng Word file, diba? Ng PDF file. Tapos nagpalit ka ng address, nagpalit ka ng phone number. Ano gagawin mo? Email mo na naman yung HR. "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated resume." Ganun ba? Paano kung 2 months later, lumipat ka ng bahay, iba na address mo, send ka ulit ng bagong resume? "Dear HR manager, I'm sending you my updated, most recent resume." I don't think you'll do that. Kasi kung ganun ang ginagawa mo, sayang sa oras siya, nakakapagod sa part mo, lalong-lalo naman sa part ng HR, mas nakakapagod to keep track kung saan dyan yung pinaka-updated na attachment or pinaka-updated na resume ng aplikante. And this time around, if you have your resume link, all you need to do is just update your resume link at lahat na may alam ng resume link mo, makikita nila yung pinaka real-time update ng profile or information. Ayos ba? Ayos ba? Sige, another one. For those who wanted to use a hard copy, gusto mo talaga may hard copy ka when you apply to those companies, you want to give something, then this is also possible. What do? You go to your dashboard inside your job seeker account, then you can print your resume link. Mamili ka lang, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, the system will try to compress everything into 1 page. O diba? Maginhawa sa buhay. So kung gusto mo talaga mag-apply sa mga kumpanya, hindi mo na kailangan mag-prepare ng maraming mga pages. Minsan, di ba, yung mga aplikante, mga 2-3 pages ang isang set ng resume. Palibasa, yung font size 45. Kaya umaabot ng 2-3 pages. O diba? Pero this time, the system will try to compress everything na into 1 page. Just in case you really want to have a hard copy. O diba? Tipid. Okay? Another thing pa for me to encourage you to do is you use resume link cards. Resume link cards. Ano tong resume link card? Kung sa mga nagtatrabaho na, ang tawag namin business card. Sa mga nag-a-apply, tawag dyan, ResumeLink card. So in one piece of paper, whether short bond or long bond paper, you can now design it your own way. You can design it depende kung ano ang gusto mo, pagiging creativity mo. Ikaw bahala. You can make 10, 20 sets of cards. Depende sa laki or liit. Diba? Kasi laki ng index card or kasi liit lang ng mga normal business cards natin. Diba? So, depende. So, maybe in one long bond paper, you can make 10, 20 sets of cards na. And so, after you have it printed out, pwede ka na ngayon maggupit-gupit. Gupit-gupit na lang. Diba? 10 or 20. Bawat kumpanya, you can now start to give that as a hard copy. Hard copy pa rin naman yan eh. But this time, why am I encouraging you to use ResumeLink cards instead of the traditional long bond or short bond paper? Bakit? Una-una, tipid. Diba? Because of course, right now, eto, tipid. Kasi if you're going to apply to 20 companies, you don't need to print 20 sets of long bond papers. You just need to print one long bond paper and cut 20 small pieces of ResumeLink cards. O, diba? That's for the cost side. Tipid na. Pangalawa, at mas importante, security of information. Diba? You want to have peace of mind. Paano ko nasabi yan? Kapag ikaw yung nagbigay sa isang kumpanya ng long bond paper or short bond paper, example lang, no? It's a traditional resume. And for some reason, nilipad ng hangin. Okay? Nilipad ng hangin. Hindi mo kasalanan. Kasalanan ng hangin eh. Diba? May nakapulot na stranger. All your information, alam na nung stranger. Tama? And you cannot deny it because you know what I'm saying is true. Diba? Hindi mo kilala pero alam niya yung buong details mo. Now, using your ResumeLink card, same scenario. Nagbigay ka ng ResumeLink card sa company, nilipad ng hangin ngayon. May na stranger na nakapulot, okay lang. Bakit? Kampante ka. Kasi yung ResumeLink, ikaw may control ng privacy settings mo. That's why, in your ResumeLink card, what I recommend, you just simply put your name and your ResumeLink. Dalawa lang. That's it. If you want to put your mobile number, it's okay. It's up to you. You can put it there. Diba? Pero ang point ko is, ResumeLink, pwede na siya makita ng mga HR or mga companies na bibigyan mo. Diba? So you have peace of mind now. Okay? So there's a lot of advantages using ResumeLinks. In fact, dun pa lang sa privacy portion, panalong-panalo ka na. Ikaw ang may control ng privacy settings mo real time. Pagdating sa speed of hire, it becomes faster and more efficient because whatever you want to show the HR, you just attach it there. Whatever the HR needs from you, they just ask from you. Diba? You take a picture, you scan them, upload it there, and later on, pag okay na, you now turn off yung privacy settings mo. Diba? Or you can remove them in the attachments. Diba? Cost efficient, definitely wala tong gastos, tipid. Diba? If you're thinking, ay sir, paano po yung internet, kailangan ng pang-load? Pwede ka maging resourceful. Connect lang tayo sa mga libreng wifi. O, diba? And then, pagdating sa flexibility, if you really want to have it printed out, yung inyong resume, you also have the option to print it out. That's like how I showed it to you, 1 column or 2 column version. Either way, it's really up to you. Pero ang point ko is, ResumeLink na lahat yan. Okay? And you can use this to any platform, whatever platform you want to share it to. You want to share it sa mga messenger nyo, you want to share it sa email, sa Viber, sa text, diba? Gusto mo, kaya ko bahala. Diba? Gusto mo, sulat mo sa papel, tapos gawa ka ng airplane, palipad mo, diba? May nakakuha, alam niya yung ResumeLink mo. Ikaw bahala. Okay? Ikaw may control kung sino ang gusto mo bigyan. Okay? You don't have to use your USBs anymore. You don't have to save it sa hard drive. Baka mawala pa yung USB nyo. Delikado. Diba? Wag na. Baka kung ano pa makita ng mga nakakapulot ng mga USB na yan. Okay? So you don't need to worry about compatibility as well because this is compatible to any platform. If you're using Android, you're using Safari, kung ano magamit mo, pwede yan sa kahit anumang version. Okay? And so, just to promote lang, if you want to be part of our team, we're also hiring. Mismo sa jobs180.com, we're hiring for several opportunities, several vacancies yan. Check out na lang yung aming jobs180.com/jobs180 na page. Okay? And by the grace of God, shout out lang ako, right now we have more than 400 plus colleges and university partners nationwide. From north all the way to the south of the Philippines. Thank you, Lord. O, diba? Ang kinalat namin, hindi lang virus. Biro lang. Kinalat namin, ResumeLink. Yan ang kinalat natin. So, a lot of schools now, including your alma mater, are now using the ResumeLink. So, I hope it doesn't stop here. No? You become a blessing to others as well. If you have friends, you have yung mga relatives mo, na sa tingin mo, kailangan nitong tool na ito, you can share it to them. Wala namang bayad eh. Libre naman yan. Okay? And so, as we close this portion, I'd like to discuss some of the frequently asked questions. Baka ito yung mga agam nyo or ito yung mga questions na gusto nyo tanungin. Sagutin ko na muna. Okay? Unang tanong, can I give my resume links to companies who do not know about jobs180.com? The answer is absolutely yes. Basta alam nila eksaktong link mo at ikaw may control, sino bibigyan mo nun. Ikaw lang ang magbibigay. Diba? So ikaw lang may alam sino binigyan mo. Okay? Now, second question. is it the same as other job platform kagaya ng JobStreet, LinkedIn, or any other job site? The answer is no. May dalawang pagkakaiba. And let me use an example here. Let me do a shout out to JobStreet, no, because I think you guys know what JobStreet is. So shout out lang to them sa mga nasa JobStreet. If you're using JobStreet na resume, you can only apply to companies who are using JobStreet. If you're applying to a company who is not using JobStreet, you cannot use your JobStreet resume anymore. Pero pag gamit mo yung resume link mo, pwede mo yung gamitin kahit na saan, kahit na kanino, kahit na anong platform. Diba? Basta alam ng HR yung eksaktong link mo at ikaw magbibigay nun. That's the first difference. Second difference, if you have already submitted your JobStreet resume to an HR, you cannot change anything anymore. Well, you can on your end, but it will not be reflected on the HR. Hindi siya magiging real-time update. Comparing it to resume link ni Jobs 180, you can update it real-time. 2 days later, 5 minutes later, 6 weeks later, ikaw bahala, anytime nag-update ka ng information, lahat na in-update mo, dagdag bawas, will be reflected real-time across all na may alam ng resume link mo. Okay? So those are the two major differences. Now, pagdating sa pangatlong question, yan ang pinaka-simpleng tanong. Can I keep my information secured? I hope by this time na-convince ko na kayo na ito na ang pinaka-secured na job application platform. Okay? So, use your resume link. Number 4 question, I think is the most important question. How often should you update your resume link? The answer is every time. Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Okay? Every time na meron kang babaguhin. Lalong-lalo na yung contact details mo. Kasi imagine, binago mo lahat. Binago mo yung work experience mo, nagkaroon ka ng awards, nagkaroon ng achievement, hindi ka naman makontak ng HR. Wala rin, di ba? Sayang din. That's why you have to update yung contact details niyo. Okay? And the last question is just a trivia. Trivia lang, palaisipan. Why is this called jobs180.com? This is called jobs180.com because we want to turn your life around 180 degrees. And in case you're wondering, no, you wanted to raise a concern, bakit hindi po 360? Kasi pag 360 degrees, you only go back to where you started. Ikot ka lang na ikot, wala kang pupuntahan. 'Di ba? Bumabalik ka lang kung saan ka galing. Oh, ha? Oh, 'di ba? Char-char lang 'yan. Okay? So, anyways, again, kung meron pa kayo ibang questions, just in case you have questions, okay, you may send those questions here through our website, www.jobs180.com. You can also email us or email me here sa info@jobs180.com. You can like us on Facebook, also Twitter, Instagram, pati na rin sa TikTok. Okay, so check us out on all our social media platform. Okay? Again, my name is Kim Chua. Don't forget the wa. Okay? Isang magandang araw po sa inyo lahat. Thank you.
Thank you for that, Sir Kim. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear.
Ayan. So, thank you for that. So, to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. Okay. So, please comment your questions if you have any, and then we'll address it to the speaker. Po. Ayan. So, I'll go first. So, Sir Kim, first question. Can you please tell us red flags if you're an applicant and you see these signals, these are indicators that it's probably not a good sign for you to push through with your application.
Okay, sige. So parang warning to the job seekers, no? What to watch out for. Sige. So for me, mga red flags ng mga companies, number 1 is if they do not have a physical address in the Philippines. I'm not saying naman na pag wala sila sa Philippines ay illegal sila. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying na if ever lang you need to you have a complaint later on, you want to pursue something dun sa company as hindi man sila mapupuntahan, then parang that for me is a red flag, no? Another thing is if the company does not have a website. No, with this day and age, I think it's very basic that the company should have a website, at least for you to learn more about what they're doing. And also bubusin na lang ako, beep beep. When I say website, it's like the official website of the company, hindi yung social media sites nila, hindi yung like Facebook site, and then they consider that as a website na. So ako yun parang hindi siya official website, no? Another thing is if the company is charging for certain fees, if it's a direct employment, direct position, direct hiring yung ina-apply mo, tapos they will charge you for whatever fees, medyo mag-isip ka na. No, kasi I encountered that before when I was still an applicant. Oh, don't ask kung kailan, no, matagal na 'yun. Pero it's still applicable, no? Kapag ikaw ay nag-apply tapos application form sisingilan ka pa, 'di ba? Para lang mag-fill out ng form, magbabayad ka pa ng piso, 2 piso. Tapos that time I went to the physical office. So okay 'yun, 'di ba? May physical office, may website, meron. Pero pagdating ko doon, sabi sa akin, "Sir, ano, yung application form, kailangan bayad ka, parang 5 pesos yata." Tapos or 2 pesos, di ko rin maalala. But of course, that time, piso, 2 piso, malaki pa rin yun. May nabibili pa. Ngayon, malabo na may mabili sa piso, no? Pero but the idea is nga, if they're charging for certain fees, if it's a direct hiring position, then I consider that as a red flag. Ayan. So, another thing then that you might want, ito naisip ko lang din to bigla, talking about red flag is, if you're being processed, if you're applying for a certain position, certain company, then then ibabato ka nila example to a different a totally different field or totally different company, because you might encounter that, no, bilang ni-refer ka pala sa iba. So baka mapaisip ka lang, no, na hindi na pala siya dapat i-push through. Ayun lang. But then again, at the end of the day, it's your decision. So you do your research. Yan yung sa akin.
Okay, thank you for
Okay?
that, sir. My
Hmm.
next question would be related to that. So,
Hmm.
is it okay to apply for jobs na hindi related sa course? Not directly
Of course.
to your course.
Okay lang. Oo, okay lang. Wala naman pong bawal kung gusto mo mag-apply sa mga trabaho na hindi connected sa course ninyo. Okay? As long as one, you do your research, you know about the responsibilities and the requirements that they're looking for. This is something that you want to pursue, then it's okay. Lalo na kung passion mo talaga gawin yung trabaho na yon. Example lang, you are a graduate of accounting or you're an engineer, example. Pero gusto mo mag-apply for a graphic designer position, it's okay. 'Di ba? Wala naman nagsabi na dapat yun yung course mo, yun din yung maging trabaho mo, 'di ba? But then again, you have to do your research. Yun lang sa akin, no? Wala ring bawal sa dami ng pwedeng applyan. In case you're thinking, can I apply to as many companies as I can? The answer is yes. 'Di ba? Basta lang mag-research. Kasi baka mamaya click ka na ng click, apply ka na ng apply, tapos tinawagan ka ng company. Tapos sasabihin sa'yo, what do you know about the company? Or why did you apply for this position? Tapos sasabihin mo doon sa tumatawag sa inyo, hindi ko po alam. O kaya, did I even apply? O di ba, minsan may ganun ako na-encounter eh. So, wag mo na sayangin oras mo tsaka oras ng HR. And higit sa lahat, sayang eh. Sayang yung opportunity. 'Di ba? So I don't recommend that you do your trigger happy. No, yung click na ng click, click ng click, bahala na si Batman sino nang tumawag. Huwag niyo gawin ganun, okay? Research and then you can apply kahit marami, okay lang.
Ayan, so there you have it. So, thank you for that, sir. So, to our audience, if you're shy, meron pa tayong 5 more speakers para pwede kayong magtanong sa ayan.
Oo, tanong lang kayo ng tanong, libre magtanong, 'di ba?
Dahil time constraints tayo, sir, we'll
Yes.
be moving on to the next
Okay.
speaker. Thank you,
Okay.
Sir Kim.
Thank you. Have fun. Have fun. Stay safe. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Thank you for that, sir. So now let's proceed to our second speaker. So for our second speaker, we have Miss Mary Josephine Therese C. Torres, talent acquisition specialist for Factset. Ms. Therese is currently a talent acquisition specialist in Factset, handling volume hiring requisitions for content operations. She joined Factset back in 2018 as an intern and became an employee in April 2019. She first handled sales, hiring, and recruitment events. So Therese graduated from the University of Perpetual Help System Data with a degree in psychology and earned her the recognition of Best in Internship and Outstanding Thesis. She attended one term for Masters of Arts, a major in industrial psychology at the University of Santo Tomas. However, pandemic happened and she decided to focus on her full-time job as a recruiter in FactSet. As a recruiter, Ms. Therese loves to share opportunities to candidates, especially for fresh graduates to help them build their career. Ms. Therese? Hi, ma'am.
Hi, can you see me?
Hello, ayan. Ma'am, can we test your screen?
Yes, sure. For a while. Ayan, can you see it now?
It's loading po, ayan. So, ayan, there you go. Okay. So, ma'am, I'll leave you to it and I'll be back for the question and answer in 20 minutes. Thank you, Miss Therese. You have the floor.
Thank you, Sherry. Alright. So, good afternoon, everyone. We will be talking about surviving the internship program. So, nakita ko sa comments, madaming mga fourth-year students. So, I'm not sure if nakapag-internship na kayo or nakapag-on-the-job training na kayo. But if you're not yet done with your internship, so I hope after this presentation, you can bring something from this and to learn something for your internship. So let's talk about first why is internship important. So first, of course, internship is a professional working experience and it's opportunity for career exploration. Just to share with you, when I was a student pa back in 2018, I'm on my fourth year of college. And then, back then, since I'm a psychology graduate nga, inisip ko before parang mas exciting ang clinical setting ng psychology. So parang sabi ko noon, baka boring kapag industrial. But when I had my internship, I first tried the industrial setting and I loved it, no? So, nung na-try ko na yung industrial, sabi ko, ayoko nang mag-clinical. And then, nung na-try ko na yung clinical, sabi ko, ay, oo, hindi ako para dito. So, ang pinurso ko talaga is industrial. So, kayo, it's very important na matry nyo rin ang internship kasi doon nyo malalaman kung ano ba yung field na gusto nyong i-pursue after your graduation. And then, of course, next, to build professional network. So, during your internship, you will meet a lot of people. So, it's the best time to have your connections, to build your connections. And of course, it's a stepping stone. So, kanina sa introduction, nasabi na I was an intern before in Factset. And today, I'm a talent acquisition specialist. No? So, na-absorb ako 1 month before my graduation. That's why kayo, mga students, you need to take your internship seriously kasi baka eventually, ma-hire din kayo as a regular employee sa company kung saan kayo mag-OJT. So next, let's talk about the tips on maximizing on-the-job training. So for example, nakapasa na kayo sa interview or nandun na kayo sa company na inaay nyo for the internship. So ano ba yung dapat nyong gawin kapag nandoon na kayo sa company or kapag nag-start na ang internship program nyo? First, ask questions. So do not hesitate to ask questions or do not be shy to ask questions. Kasi you have to indulge your curiosity during your internship. So kapag may hindi kayo alam or may kung gusto kayong malaman, you really have to ask questions. And also ask if you can take part in things. No? So if merong mga projects, you can ask if you can assist them or if merong mga tasks na pwede sa inyo, you can ask. And in relation to that, be proactive and take initiative. So, syempre, hindi na tayo mag-aantay na utusan pa tayo. Dapat meron tayong pagkukusa, no? Para makita rin ng coworkers natin or ng supervisors natin na we can take charge sa mga task and we are capable in doing yung mga works talaga as employee. Next would be expand your knowledge about the industry. So, lagi ang mindset nyo kapag intern kayo, soon you will be part of the corporate world. That's why you have to learn about different industries. For example, sa company namin, we are a finance and technology industry. You have to learn about that kind of industry kasi you need to know ano ba yung clients na meron tong company na to. Anong product, anong kind ng service ang meron nito. And para din malaman nyo sa ibang company na may same industry, ano ba ang difference? Or ano ba ang trend ngayon sa industry? Ano yung mga industry na boom sa market? So, kailangan nyo rin silang pag-aralan. Kailangan nyong makagain ng knowledge about that kasi once you're done with your college or once you graduated, you will be exposed na sa corporate world. Okay, next, take the chance to develop your skills. So as you know, internship, this is the actual application of what you've learned in your university. So lahat ng mga napag-aralan nyo, no, dito nyo na yon maa-apply. So take this time to develop or enhance your communication skills. So it's very important that you can converse in in English very well when you are applying na sa real world or sa corporate job, 'di ba? So in your internship, try to enhance that or try to improve that in your technical skills. For example, you are in the field of engineering or IT. So take your internship seriously to develop and enhance those kind of skills. As well as for the soft skills. So what are the soft skills? It's like the time management, decision making, problem solving, stress management. Try to kahit unti-unti no, mapag-aralan or ma-develop niyan during your internship. Next would be develop work habits and attitudes necessary for job success. In short, dito papasok yung work ethics. So, yung work ethics, ito yung kasi we are setting standards no for the necessary behaviors when we are in work, no? So, when we say work ethics, dito natin ma-test yung ating integrity, accountability, responsibility, and discipline sa work. So, try to build and develop na yung mga work ethics natin during internship para kapag nasa actual work na talaga tayo, kapag nakagraduate na kayo, you know what to do and what is the right attitude when you are already an employee. Next, manage your time effectively. Parang related din siya dun sa soft skills na nabanggit ko a while ago. Siyempre, in your internship, kailangan mapakita nyo na agad na punctual kayo, na you are respecting other people's time. It's very important, di ba? Okay, so next would be give people a reason to remember you. So make your stay in the company na nag-intern kayo, make your stay remarkable para maalala nila kayo. Why? Kasi there would come a time, no, kapag may vacancy sila sa company or magkakaroon sila ng additional headcount, maaalala nila kayo. Okay, kasi naging maganda yung performance nyo during your internship and for sure kapag nag-iwan kayo ng magandang mark sa team nila, maaalala nila kayo. Next would be show your commitment. So how will you show your commitment during your internship? Kasi 'di ba usually ang internship natin may mga school na parang i-require lang is 200 hours. Depende 'di ba minsan mahaba talaga 600 hours. Pero depende yan kung gaano man kahaba or gaano man kaikli ang ating internship. Ipakita natin na we are dedicated dun sa mga tasks, sa simpleng task man or malaking task man ang i-assign sa atin na we are dedicated no dun sa ibibigay sa ating trabaho. So gawin natin siya, for example, may kailangan tayong i-submit, try to submit it ahead of time, yung mga ganong bagay. So kailangan natin i-show na committed tayo doon sa job. And lastly is to build relationships with colleagues, no? Kapag kung ikaw yung tipo ng taong mahiyain, no? So during your internship, try to improve then that attitude, no, or that behavior kasi we have to build connections or create connections na during your internship. So, it's very important na mag-iiwan tayo ng magandang relationship sa mga makaka-work natin, lalo na sa mga supervisor and manager natin during the internship. And most importantly, enjoy your internship. So, ito na yung parang huling pagkakataon natin bago tayo graduate na hindi pa ganun nakaka-pressure kasi kapag nasa real world na tayo or kapag nasa actual job na tayo, iba na yon. Syempre dahil sumasahod na tayo, minsan talaga mataas ang expectations sa atin. So during your internship, i-enjoy nyo lang siya. No? I've been there. So I really enjoyed my internship with Factset. And even dun sa clinical ko na internship, na-enjoy ko din siya. However, mas na-feel ko lang talaga na parang for Factset ako. So, ayun, kaya kailangan yung i-enjoy ang internship niyo. Siyempre, you also need to learn, but at least you need to have fun din. So, some key takeaways. So, first, you need to find a good company. So, try to join mga global organizations, no? Okay din naman kung sa mga local or mga small company kayo mag-work. Pero, ang advantage kasi if you work on a global company, it's diverse. So, mas ma-open kayo sa iba't ibang culture, iba't ibang working environment, and madaming opportunities kapag sa global companies kayo nag-try mag-internship. And malaki din ang chance na ma-absorb kayo. 'Di ba? Kasi ang global companies usually mga big companies 'yan, 'di ba? Next would be leave a good impression. So starting from your interview up to your last day of internship, make sure na magiging remarkable kayo dun sa interviewer and pati dun sa magiging supervisor nyo. Next, be dynamic and proactive. Yun. Make sure that you are always ready to take initiative. Like what I've mentioned a while ago, yung hindi na kayo nag-aantay, na utusan pa kayo, meron kayong pagkukusa. Next, this is the best time to enhance your skills, no, to develop your technical and soft skills. So take this time seriously. And last but not the least is to build connections. So they might give you opportunities in the future. So keep that in mind. And during your internship, di ba, usually meron yung mga rubrics, no, after internship, parang gigradean or giratean tayo. Much better if we can exceed the expectation. Mas okay yon, 'di ba? Kaysa naman kulang, di natin na-meet or average lang. So it's better to put your full effort, no, during your internship. So, yan, be brave, take risk, nothing can substitute experience. So, internship is a very great experience as a college student. So I would like to share with you lang something about our company, who is Factset. So to summarize this, no, we are a fintech company or finance and technology industry. Our main product here is a financial software which is called Factset Workstation. So basically, we develop that software. We have software engineers who develop that, and our clients are subscribing to our software to access real-time data of financial market or stock market. So those clients that we have in Factset are financial investors or financial professionals. So we have a lot of job vacancies for fresh graduates. So kung malapit na ang graduation nyo, it's better to send us na your application. No? So for business courses graduates, marami din ako nakita kanina mga banking and finance, may mga marketing or business courses pa. You can apply for research analyst role if you want a job na more on data analysis. But if you want a client-facing role, you can try our advisor client solutions. And for our IT or computer engineering or computer science graduates, you can try our software engineer roles and associate client support engineer roles. So to check the job descriptions for those vacancies, you can visit our jobs180.com/factsetcareers or our website www.factset.com/careers. And you can also send us directly your resume or your resume link at manila.recruiting@factset.com. And you can also connect with me in LinkedIn, Therese Torres. My work email is mconanan@factset.com. And you can also follow me on TikTok at Therese Torres _. So I usually create some videos there, interview tips, ayan, sa TikTok ko. So you can also follow me there. Right? So any questions?
There you go. Thank you for that presentation, Ms. Therese. Ayan. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So let us know in the comment section if meron kayong gustong itanong kay Ms. Therese. So now, to give you time to think about your questions, I'll go first. Ayan. So first question, ma'am. Kasi po, di ba, sometimes the interns, they can't like work with sensitive information, critical information. So they're usually given like admin tasks to help out in the team or in the office. So what skills do they learn in this kind of tasks? Diba? Kasi inisip na, ay, mag-Excel lang ako, ay, mag-spreadsheet lang pala ako, ay, data entry lang pala to. So what kind of attitudes or soft skills do they learn from those they think na mini tasks or admin tasks? Ayan.
All right, that's a great question. Actually, Wag niyong mamaliitin yung Excel ha, kasi ako gustong-gusto ko yung training na yon, and up till now, sa company kasi namin merong Excel training. So I'm waiting pa na magkaroon ng another class for Excel. And that's a great opportunity rin to learn about Excel. Para ano din siya parang skill din siya, Excel. So pag meron kayong chance na makapag-work ng Excel at matutunan talaga yon, seryosohin niyo din kasi magandang opportunity rin ng Excel. Pero when it comes to soft skills training, kapag more on admin task lang ipapagawa sa inyo, kahit na admin task kasi minsan meron ding mga confidential information na pwedeng maisama doon. So, ano ba yung pwede niyong matutunan doon? Integrity. No? So, kailangan ma-enhance din yon yung integrity. And of course, kapag minsan, depende kasi di ba iba-iba naman yung mga field ng internship. Minsan, kapag more on sa operation side, for example, yung mga IT, so mas marami silang matututunan din sa internship nila kasi more on, for example, yung mga coding, mga programming, di ba? Pero for example, like me, na nag-intern ako sa HR, before meron kaming mga activities or parang pwede kaming mag-sit-in sa mga interviews, ayun, i-take nyo yung chance na yon, no? Para, for example, yung mga business course ito or yung mga HRDM or mga psychology major, kung wag kayong mahihiya kung ipag-sit-in kayo sa mga interview or magko-call outs kayo ng mga candidate or magso-sourcing kayo, papahelp kayo sa sourcing. So, ma-enhance din doon yung communication skills nyo. So, ayun po.
Thank you for the tips, ma'am. Learning is learning, no? Take whatever info that you can, absorb everything. Ayan. Next question, ma'am. Di ba, ma'am, in some companies, you get to meet like interns from other universities or like other schools. How do you avoid like comparing yourself to those other would-be graduates? Like, uy, ang galing naman ito, galing sa anong school, ganyan. So, how do you stop like making that comparison? Na, ay, mas magaling siya, or, ay, hindi pa ako ganun kagaling. Ayan. What is your take
Okay.
on?
For me lang naman 'to, magkakaiba naman tayo. As much as possible, yun nga, i-try pa rin natin na wag nating i-compare and always know na kaya ka nandiyan kasi may nakitang potential sa'yo yung nag-hire sa'yo or yung manager na naglagay sa'yo diyan, nag-hire sa'yo as an intern, no? Always know na there is always room for improvement, always charge it to your experience, no? So, minsan talaga tao lang tayo, hindi naman natin maiiwasan na hala, ang galing niya, bakit ako hindi ako ganun. Pero iti-take mo din 'yon as opportunity na o sige, mas gagalingan ko din sa next. Pero wag mo siyang titignan as competition. You have to take it na as ano talaga, room for your improvement. And at least alam mo na yung gagawin mo the next time. Hindi talaga maiiwasan minsan yan, lalo na syempre kapag mga internship, kumbaga medyo bata-bata pa tayo niyan 'di ba? Hindi pa medyo may times na may ayoko namang sabihin talaga na immature, pero dadaan at dadaan diyan. Pero okay lang 'yon, basta make sure na hindi siya magiging cause ng pagiging toxic sa team, no? So take it as parang magiging competitive ka in a good way para ma-improve mo yung dapat mong i-improve sa skills mo.
Ayan. So, thank you for those tips, Miss Therese, no? So, to our audience, if you want to look at the vacancies over at Factset, the link is flashing on your screen. That's jobs20.com/Factset Careers. So, you can read through job vacancies, check if they are hiring for interns, ayan. And then, use your resume link to apply. Ayan. So, Miss Therese, on behalf of JRU, and on behalf of my team over at jobs20.com, thank you for accepting this invitation, and we hope that we can invite you to future talks with other universities. Thank you, Mr. Reese.
Thank you as well, Shari. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.
Bye, ma'am. Ayan. So, ang ganda ng discussion ni Miss Therese, no? So, huwag kayong mahiya magtanong. Pwede nyo ilagay sa comment section. So, let's move on to our next topic. So, our next topic will be discussed by Miss Cristien at Angel May Bernabe. Her topic is what to do next, like after graduation. Miss Kamei is Campus Talent Acquisition Specialist over at Oracle. She is a highly motivated HR professional with over 5 years of experience in financial services and technology industry and equipped with knowledge in recruitment, compensation and benefits, employer relations, and learning development. Miss Kamei, let's put her up. Hello, ma'am. Good afternoon.
Hi, good
Hi.
afternoon, Miss Shari. Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear.
Okay.
Can we
Hold
test
on.
your deck lang po? Can you put it
Yeah,
up?
here. Hold on ha.
Click present and then share screen.
Yeah. Hold on. Oh, I can hold on. I can't find it nasa window eh.
Sige, ma'am. We'll wait for you. Ayan. So
Wait.
to everyone, please tag your friends, please tag your classmates because the evaluation and attendance will be released at the end of this session. So kung sino lang po yung nakapag-attend, sila lang po yung mabibigyan ng certificate natin. Care of Miss Mayan of the Career and Placement Office of JRU.
There. Can you see
Yeah.
it now,
Yes,
Miss
ma'am. Can you
Shari?
put it on full screen po?
Full screen na.
There you
Yeah.
go. Yan, ma'am. If
Okay.
ever po that there are like glitches throughout your presentation, I'll come in po and
Mhm.
advise. Ayan. So, Miss
Okay.
May, I give you the floor.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Shari, for the wonderful introduction. Good afternoon, everyone. So I'm Cami Bernabe, Campus Talent Acquisition Specialist of Oracle, and welcome to our campus recruiting information session. So we're so happy to be here. Thank you, Jobs 180, for inviting us. So for the topic for today is what to do after graduation. So finishing your university degree and receiving recognition for your achievement is probably the highlight of any student journey. It is finally time to celebrate and consider your next steps after a lot of hard work and sleepless nights. So, although finishing school might feel like a relief, the newfound freedom can also be overwhelming, particularly if you're still unsure on what to do after graduation. But there are actually many valuable things that you can do, and I'm here to take you through some of the options that you can take and explore. All right. So it's understandable to be confused about how to proceed once you've crossed the finish line and completed your undergraduate studies. Fortunately, there are many routes to take, including traveling, starting a business, getting a job, or pursuing a postgraduate degree. If you're still unsure on what to do after graduation, I'm pretty sure you're not alone. We'll further discuss the different paths that you can take in today's session. All right. So for the first route that you can take, basically before you choose pala, you have to develop your CV. So one important task to do once you graduate is to make sure that your CV is up to date, professional, and includes all the experience that you've acquired throughout your degree. So having this ready while waiting for a prospective employer will be useful when you see a job that you like. Diba earlier, Sir Kim discussed on how you can create your resume link. So I agree na that would really be helpful for you guys, especially if you're already looking for jobs, na at least it will come in handy and you can submit easily dun sa mga employers na gusto nyong applyan. So here are some useful tips in writing a CV. So first is get the basics right. So there's really no right or wrong way to write a CV, but there are some common sections that you should cover. So these include contact information, education, work history and or internship experience, achievements, and some references. So there's also no specific format to follow, but make sure that all the items that I've mentioned earlier are there. Next is presentation is key. So a CV is always carefully and clearly presented. The layout should be clean and well structured. So always remember the CV hotspot, which is yung upper middle area of your CV, because this is usually where the recruiter's eye will naturally fall. So make sure that you include the most important information there. So as I've mentioned earlier, you can include yung contact information, email address, and your location so that the recruiter will know where to contact you and will have an idea on where you reside. Next step is to stick to no more than 2 pages. So a good CV is clear, concise, and makes every point necessary. So you have to keep in mind that employers receive lots of CVs every day. So it's unlikely na they have all the time to, go through all the pages of your CV. So most will make a judgment within seconds. So make sure na it's not more than 2 pages. Next is tailor the CV to the role. So when you already know what the job entails, create a CV specifically for that. You don't have to rewrite the whole thing. Just make sure to include all details in your CV that are relevant to the role that you're applying. Lastly, include references. So references could be someone from the past that has employed you and can vouch for your skills and experiences. If you don't have work experience yet, you can include some of your professors in college. So if possible, try to include 2 references in your CV. Alright, so for the first route that you can take, you can pursue a postgraduate degree. So an alternative is to return to school and do this. So people opt to do a postgraduate degree for different reasons, but it's important to understand why you're doing it. A master's takes time and money, so make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. So there are some careers like law, and psychology that require further study to qualify at certain roles. For others, it's not a requirement, but if you have a real desire to study your a particular aspect of your undergraduate course in a deeper level, then you should probably consider pursuing a postgraduate degree. In some cases, it can boost your employment and promotion prospects as well as your salary. And to broaden your horizons and your experience, you can actually also consider studying abroad. However, when you decide to pursue a postgraduate degree, this would really require some serious thought on your end. This option demands commitment, and there are things like money and funding to consider. So, before you decide, you might want to ask yourself the following questions. So, what's your reason for studying your chosen course? Why is doing this course important to you? What skills or knowledge will this course give you that you don't have already? And lastly, how will it make you more employable? All right. And then for the next route, you can start your own business. If you have an idea to solve a community problem or optimize a specific process, then you can choose this route. This allows you to contribute to society and earn money at the same time. And in addition, you can also get certifications or take up specialized training to equip you with the necessary skill set to succeed. So, for instance, you can take a business leadership course or a project management course to help improve your chances of success once you start your own business. Next is you can find volunteer opportunities. So volunteering allows you to gain valuable experience, especially when related to your area of interest and advocacy in life. You can also develop both hard and soft skills such as time management, task management, communication, adaptability, leadership, and many more. And you have to take note that these skills are transferable and improve your capabilities and make you more valuable when you start working. Volunteer positions can also lead to a full-time role through the networking opportunities that it provides you. Another route that you can take is through traveling. So I'm sure everyone would agree na, di ba, sino ba namang hindi gusto mag-travel right after graduation? So after a stressful 4 or 5 years at school, you might be ready to take a break completely and fly off somewhere new. Traveling is a great way to expand your mind, gain perspective, and of course, relax. Another huge benefit of traveling is that you'll meet people from all around the globe who may even become useful connections when looking for jobs, but mainly it will teach you how to speak and build relationships with new people. Common misconception is that traveling after graduation is actively discouraged by employers. However, this is not necessarily the case, as you can use this time to really think about what you want to do after graduation. And traveling can also teach you a lot of skills, such as managing your finances, organization, independence, and speaking to new people, all of which are beneficial skills for work and life. Last route that you can take is to get entry level jobs. So after graduation, you can begin an entry level role in your preferred industry to gain the necessary experience to become an expert. So you can apply to various companies before you graduate or wait until after graduation before you start applying. So this position allows you to expand your professional network and develop further your skill set. It also presents an opportunity for you to earn and work your way up the career ladder. So an important thing to remember is that you should do what you feel is right for you and not compare your experience with others. You might have friends who are on graduate programs, but if you feel you need this time to learn about yourself and your ambitions, then this is the perfect time for you to do it. The opportunities will all be there when you return. Alright, so to sum it all up, here's a quote from Mark Manson, which we can relate to today's topic. So it's okay if you don't know what to do yet or which route are you going to take after graduation. Cliche as it may sound, you're young and it's true that you have all the time in the world to figure out what you want to do. Like what Mark Manson said here, uncertainty is the root of all progress and growth. When you're nervous about stepping outside your comfort zone, remind yourself that it feels scary because it's unfamiliar and not because you're incapable. As you go along the way, you'll get to learn more about yourself, develop your skill set, and this will hopefully lead you to the route that you ultimately want to take. Now, allow me to talk to you about the organization where we belong to, where you can begin an entry level role to gain the necessary experience to build up your skill set and climb the career ladder. So here in Oracle, your success story starts. So before I proceed, let's watch a quick video so you can learn more about Oracle.
Turning on your lights, catching up with friends, home deliveries, receiving healthcare. Some of your most important moments in life, big and small, are made possible through Oracle technology. If you join us, you'll be part of an elite team who help the world's most recognizable brands do what they do best. More than 400,000 businesses around the world trust Oracle to run their mission-critical operations. Like the world's largest bakery, in a single day, Grupo Bimbo uses Oracle Cloud to produce and transport 13,000 types of products via some 53,000 routes. Industry disruptors like Zoom rely on Oracle to innovate in the face of change. When it had to quickly scale in early 2020, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure was able to get them where they needed to be. With the industry's broadest suite of cloud applications, our customers can use emerging technologies to act on real-time insights. That's why when the Premier League wanted to get fans close to the action, it chose Oracle Cloud. Now you can see inside the beautiful game like never before. Meanwhile, Oracle technology is helping African nations like Ghana save lives with a cloud-based vaccination system. Here, your work will do more than transform the world of business. It will power non-profits and give billions of people the tools to outpace change. Go beyond what's been done before in your career. Create the future with us.
Alright, so now that you have a teaser of who we are and what we do, let's talk about some of our impact and industry leadership. We are the only technology vendor that offers both an integrated suite of cloud applications and a cloud infrastructure platform designed for what's next. Our Oracle Cloud was built from the ground up to offer the most complete integrated cloud solution for the enterprise. We've embedded innovative tech like AI, machine learning, and blockchain into every aspect of our cloud. We're also the world's largest provider of cloud applications. Businesses use our applications to inspire the workforce, nail the financials, optimize the supply chain, and create awesome customer experiences. And this is all made possible through the work of our people. 133,000 talented employees from all around the world, all working together to fulfill our company mission, which is to transform the world for the better through innovative technology. Given we're a B2B company, most individuals are not aware that they're using Oracle technology and that it is already impacting their lives every day. When I play the word association about Oracle, the usual answer that I hear is databases. While we're proud of this heritage and pedigree, our evolution has steered us to be the world's first autonomous database cloud company. Should you join us, you won't just stay ahead of the curve, but you'll be the one creating it. Over 40 years, we have evolved from database software to expanding the entire technology stack, from servers and storage to database and middleware through applications in the cloud. We continue to innovate with the latest trends in the areas listed here, such as artificial intelligence, blockchain, cloud computing, cybersecurity, etc. Let's break this down further and see that Oracle is the number one provider of business software, application server, business analytics, database, and a whole lot more. We have a broad portfolio of solutions for companies across all industries. Aside from this, we also move quickly. We are making the fastest expansion of any major cloud player. Oracle Cloud is available globally from 39 cloud regions, and we are adding new regions more than twice as fast as other providers. As you can see here, Azure, for example, simply do not have this coverage. In addition, we've pledged net zero emission targets. Oracle's goal is to achieve 100% renewable energy use in all its OCI data centers by the year 2025. Oracle also is the only firm that has a cloud for every industry. Now, look closer. What do you see? Essential services. There's healthcare, banking, retail to buy food and retail to buy food and utilities for water and gas. So on this slide, you can see how widespread our reach is in powering industries. We provide an essential service to every essential service provider. And that's actually a very big responsibility. If Oracle goes down, banks go down, and electricity and mobile networks collapse. Without our services, our clients cannot function. Now let's take a closer look at our customers. We have hundreds of thousands of clients in different industries, as noted in the previous slide. And I've listed here a variety of the more recognizable brands that fresh graduates work with across the following industries. So some of those are hospitality, construction and engineering, retail, financial institution, and many more. Here are some of our local customers that are using Oracle technologies that you might be familiar with. It's important to note that Oracle is truly a global organization and you will be likely connecting with global teams every day. Your first connection point would be Oracle Philippines. So let's have a closer look at our operations here. So we started our operations back in 1990, and currently we have 6 offices scattered around in Makati. And we currently have 3,200 employees, and demand is expected to increase over the coming years. I hope this helps you better understand more about Oracle today. So let's now turn the conversation to you and how you can help us create the future. Our entire management team fully recognize that every good idea at Oracle comes from our employees. We are focused on building an inclusive, supportive environment where every employee is inspired to do their best work. So let's take a closer look at what that means. We think you'll enjoy making your mark on the world as part of the Oracle team. We have a range of programs for students and graduates based on the career path that you'd like to pursue. We have 3 different paths, namely Product Development, Global Business Unit, and Oracle NetSuite. So you can join our Product Development group to build cutting-edge technologies from the ground up. Our graduate program will prepare you for a customer-facing career in sales, solution engineering, or consulting with a chance to work across Oracle's award-winning products. Lastly, you can join Oracle NetSuite and specialize your career in that area, which is the world's #1 cloud ERP. So let's dive into product development. You can join the Oracle's product development team and build groundbreaking technology. So this is a multi-year development program for engineers and developers with the opportunity to learn from and be trained by some of the brightest minds and thought leaders in the industry. Another path is under Global Business Unit. You can join our team of product developers and consultants and learn how to deliver industry transformation. Our global business units combine industry expertise with the latest technology insights with the chance to experience a wide variety of technology, problem solving and analysis, and a good management team. So last path that you can pursue is through Oracle NetSuite. So kick off your career by learning how to empower customers with the world's #1 ERP cloud solution. So all graduates will participate in an initial 3 to 6 month enablement program focused on building product knowledge, consulting skills, and implementation proficiency through training and development. So your development is our top priority, and we give you the freedom and the skills to write your own success story. So what do we mean by this? First, it's our culture of learning. We offer all employees personalized learning paths to help define your career aspirations and put development plans in place to achieve your goals. Next, the way we nurture your professional development. We use our own technology, which is Oracle HCM Cloud, to manage professional development. It helps open up the door to career conversations and increases your visibility to new opportunities. Our culture of belonging starts with inclusion. We believe that creativity comes to life when you have the freedom to be yourself and the resources to help you do it. Employee resource groups are a vital part of our culture. Groups like Oracle Women's Leadership or LGBTQ plus Alliance or the Diverse Abilities Network give a voice to our communities and nurture diverse leaders. For example, Oracle Women's Leadership is active around the world with 117 countries and hosts 400 events annually, including our Emerging Leaders Summit. At Oracle, we don't think your life shouldn't be on hold from Monday to Friday. Flexible working options gives you the freedom to do things your way, and our work environment supports a healthy lifestyle. So this supportive nature extends to our communities. CSR is truly a part of our culture and continuously giving back through volunteering activities. And we are happy to offer each employee the opportunity to volunteer up to 40 paid volunteer hours per year. Last year, we actually had a total of 132,800 volunteer hours. Oracle also donated $22 million to support 6,000 nonprofits through grants, sponsorships, and workplace in 50 countries. Aside from this, we are sustainability advocates. We have 44% reduction in absolute emissions since 2015, surpassing our 2020 goal of 20% reduction. Although the current situation forces us to work remotely, our company culture can still be experienced virtually. You can expect the same engaging and industry leading training as before. We are very fortunate that as a company, we have the infrastructure and collaboration tools and also company culture that accommodates flexible working and supports remote teams on a regular basis. So I've discussed with you today that we are a trailblazing firm for the last 40 years, and that continues to lead the market and is changing the world through our technologies and products. So much so that many of the competitors you see on campus are powering their businesses through Oracle technologies, which leads me to ask, why work for companies using our technologies when you can join Oracle and help create that technology? Our recruitment process starts with an initial interview. For technical positions, you would be required to take an online assessment, and the team will share with you the Oracle online assessment guidelines. Upon receipt, you need to finish the exam within 48 to 72 hours to avoid any delays in your application. If you pass the online assessment and the initial screening, you will undergo a series of interviews with the hiring managers. And once you ace all these assessments, you will then be endorsed for offer. Your recruiter will provide a thorough discussion about the compensation and benefits that you'll be receiving. So please note that all processes are being done virtually and there's no need for you to go to our recruitment hub. You can also be hired at the comfort of your own home. So here are the following benefits of joining Oracle. So for the work setup, we are currently practicing a hybrid setup. Employees are classified as either assigned, flex, or remote workers. We are also following the standard 40 working hours per week. One of Oracle's initiatives is always providing support for hiring fresh graduates, and we support and recognize talent by providing a competitive salary. So on top of that, you'll also be receiving Christmas bonus and 13th month pay. Staying in good health physically and mentally is important for all of us. And when you're at your best, so is the work that you do here at Oracle. You'll be entitled to a health insurance worth 500,000 pesos with 2 free dependents. Aside from this, you'll also have access to dental benefits, employee assistance program, and annual physical exam. So beyond health and medical plans, Oracle also offers employees access to various financial security to help you plan for your future, whether through a retirement plan, life insurance, employee stock purchase plan that can actually protect your income during some of life's tougher moments. So Oracle also offers various programs and perks to support your life events, work-life integration, and professional development. So we are offering education assistance program in case you want to pursue an MBA or PhD in the future. We can shoulder a certain percentage for the tuition fees and books. And please be reminded that the course that you're going to take should be aligned to the work that you're currently doing for Oracle. For the leaves, so we do promote good physical and mental health for our employees, and Oracle encourages you to take regular breaks from work to relax and recharge your energy levels in order for you to improve your work-life balance and always perform at your best. So Oracle also supports employees with time off on different occurrences as a result of personal circumstances. I encourage you to follow us on social media. A quick look at Oracle Careers and our Instagram page provides you with a very clear visual of our culture. I think this will also change your perceptions of our culture and the environment at Oracle. So again, Oracle is a cloud technology company that provides organizations around the world with computing and software to help them innovate, unlock efficiencies, and become more effective. We also created the world's first and only autonomous database to help organize and secure our customers' data. So you may scan the QR codes as seen on your screen, or you may visit jobs180.com/oracleph to know more about our openings. Again, thank you so much for your time today. We look forward to creating the future with you. Back to you, Miss Shari.
Okay. Thank you for that, Miss Camille. Ayan. So to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. So I'll go first. Ayan. First question, ma'am. What culture shocks did you experience when you made the jump from fresh grad to an entry level or an employee, a full-time employee?
Okay. All right. Thanks for that question, Miss Sharon. Siguro just to share, I started working 2 weeks after graduation. So basically, yung topic ng talk ko today, hindi ko talaga nagawa yung ibang sinabi ko doon. Kasi during that time, I had friends who were already employed, like probably a month before graduation. And I was at the position na parang sabi ko, bakit ako, hindi pa ako na-hire? Bakit yung friends ko nakakuha na agad ng work? Eh, alam ko naman sa sarili kong capable din ako. So, when I got the job offer 2 weeks after graduation, I immediately grabbed it without even thinking what I'm getting into. So, it's not a good advice. Kung ako sa inyo, pag-isipan nyo talagang mabuti kung ano ba yung gusto nyong gawin and not just, jump into whatever is available to you or whatever is offered to you. So, make sure that you have, job options before kayo mag-decide kung saan talaga kayo papasok na as your first job. So, ako, na-culture shock ako kasi first of all, you don't know anyone. You probably know the HR, your recruiter who processed you, but pag nandun ka na, you're on your own. So, di ba sa mga American movies, meron yung kapag lumipat ka ng school, tapos pagkakain ka ng lunch, wala kang friend, tapos nasa CR ka lang. That didn't happen to me, but during lunchtime, parang yun na yung tumatakbo sa isip ko na, oh my God, sinong kasabay ko kumain? Wala naman akong kakilala dito. So, yun yung isa siguro sa na-culture shock ako na parang when you start working in the corporate world, parang you might have friends from, your own team or the other departments, pero you're literally on your own. And when you're studying, di ba after exam, parang wala ka nang iniisip. Ang goal mo lang is to pass the exam, to have good grades for you to be able to graduate. Yun na yun. But when you're working, yung problems mo, there are times na hindi mo siya maiiwasan na kahit weekend naiisip mo na. Lalo na pag Sunday na malapit na mag-Monday, naiisip mo, oh my God, kailangan ko nga pala gawin to. Ano nga ba yung mga kailangan ko dito para magawa ko tong report na to? So, those are probably two things na medyo na culture shock talaga ako. Kasi at least sa college, you have your friends, so meron kang support system. Pero kapag you're working and it's really a big world, I can't really explain the feeling. Parang you'll get to know, you'll get to understand what I'm saying when you're already there. But yun, at the end of the day, I guess it all boils down to how you believe in yourself, na alam mo naman na capable ka. So, as time goes by, kapag nagkaroon ka na ng mga friends sa work, syempre, yung mga shocks na yun, mawawala na rin naman yun and you'll get the hang of it.
Ayan. So, thank you for sharing your story, ma'am. I think gusto rin nilang marinig yun. Ito, ma'am, second question. Just so we can manage their expectations, like, can we ask you how many companies did you interview for or how many companies did you apply to before you get hired on your first job? Para lang po, realistic tayo.
Sige. So ako, dalawa lang. Kasi nga, di ba, I told you earlier, parang medyo na ano ako, parang medyo na pressure ako. So, wag kayong magpapa-pressure ha. Kasi, di ba, parang cliche as it may sound, we all have our own timelines. And doesn't necessarily mean na if yung friend nyo na hire na before graduation, ganun din yung timeline nyo. And again, life is not a race. Um, Bahala kayo kung ano yung timing na gusto nyong gawin. So, kunwari, gusto nyo nga muna mag-travel or gusto nyo mag-aral, up to you. Wala namang ano doon, wala namang problema doon. But, ayun, going back, dalawa lang. So, I I won't mention now what companies, but the first one, parang I just wanted to get experience para mahasa yung interview skills ko. And then, during that time, I felt like I owe it to that company kasi I really got parang notes on what I need to improve on para mas ready ako dun sa next interview ko. And then, dun sa next company naman, na yun na nga, na-interview na ako, nagulat ako that same day, kasi parang one day processing pala sila, binigyan na nila ako ng offer. So, whole day siya, parang morning, HR, tapos hiring manager after lunch. And then, before the day ends, nagkaroon ako ng offer. Eh, ayun nga, medyo pressured nga ako nun. So, tinanggap ko na. So, nakadalawa lang ako, pero that's on my experience. Siyempre, depends on you guys. Pero ako din naman, marami akong sinenda nun. Kasi I graduated back in 2017 and uso talaga yung face-to-face career fairs. So parang before ako graduate, we had one career fair na there are really lots of companies. Tapos, doon na talaga ako nag-submit ng maraming CVs. And then, nagkataon lang na nung nag-submit ako doon, yun yung dalawang company na nag-contact agad sa akin. So, wala namang specific number that um, you have to like give out your applications. Pero ako, siguro try your luck in sa lahat ng companies na gusto niyo pasukan. Parang ano siya, totoo yung more chances of winning kapag nagsabit kayo ng madami. Pero make sure that you really want to join that company. As in, from the bottom of your heart, nakikita mo yung sarili mong nagtatrabaho ka doon. Not just because, ay, gusto ko dito kasi nakita ko parang maganda yung office nila. O kaya, kasi dito parang nakita ko ang dami nilang freebies. Hindi pwedeng ganun lang. So, like what Sir Kim said earlier, research. Kasi it will really provide you with all the necessary information that you need before deciding.
Ayan, so there you go. Thank you for that, Miss Kami. Parang sobrang dami niyo pong na-share. Ayaw na magtanong ng audience. Ayan. So to everyone, the link for Oracle is jobsready.com/OraclePH. So you can read through job vacancies there and try your luck with Oracle. So Miss Kamay, on behalf of JRU and also of my team here at jobsready.com, thank you for accepting our invite and we look forward to having you again, ma'am, in other universities naman po. Thank you,
Thank
Miss
you,
Kamay.
Mary. Thanks, everyone. Have a nice day.
Have a great day, ma'am. So there you have it. So next topic, meron pa tayong tatlo. So next topic, we have acquiring professional skills after graduation. This will be presented by Ms. Mariel December Palomares, Senior Associate Talent Attraction and Talent Acquisition over at Ernst & Young Philippines. Ms. Yel has been in the industry for more than 10 years, handling different facets of HR. She started with outbound sourcing, then moved to end-to-end recruitment processing, to facilities and employee relations, to talent marketing, and now handling university partnerships and linkages. Ms. Yel, please join us in the stage. Ayan. Hi, Ms. Yel. Good afternoon. How are you? Hi, ma'am. I don't hear your audio, ma'am, on my end.
How?
Yeah, there. Ay, nawala ulit, ma'am. Ulitin lang po natin.
Wait.
Pa-unplug. Ayan. I think it's back. Is it on? Ayan, ma'am. It's there eh. I don't hear you, ma'am. Pa-unplug lang po ako ng ano siguro. Mic or headset. Ayan. So, while Miss Yel is preparing everything on her end. I would like to remind everyone that you can look at the job vacancies of the companies who will present today. So there is a Factset, um, Oracle, EY, Cognizant, and Optum. Ayan. Miss Ya, can we test your audio? No audio on my end, ma'am. Let's try again. Ayan.
If I
Wait lang.
remove the headset,
Yan, ma'am.
is
I
it
can hear you.
okay?
Ayan.
Okay.
Ayan.
So, hindi na lang ako
Share
mag-headset.
your deck, ma'am.
But is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Loud and clear.
Okay. Okay, so I'll just remove the headset. I don't know what happened, but a while ago when Sir Kim and I tested it, it was okay. But anyway, so allow me to share my screen.
Ayan. Loading lang po, ma'am, no?
Okay. How about now?
There you go.
Okay. So
Yan.
shall
Tapos,
we
ma'am,
start?
ayan. So, ma'am, I leave you to it. If there are glitches, I'll come in and advise you po. The floor is
Okay.
yours,
You can
Mariel.
you can just cut me off if suddenly there's a certain glitch or whatnot. Okay, thanks, Sherry. Okay, so I hope you guys can hear me clearly. So first off, again, I'm Yel from EYGDS or Ernst and Young Global Delivery Services Philippines. I'm here today to discuss about acquiring professional skills after graduation. So um, let's proceed. So, of course, understanding the essential skills to get a job after graduation is important. So, of course, you're quite anxious what will happen after you graduate, right? So, you tend to, especially right now, it's a trend that people or students, young professionals are checking the internet to, of course, have additional knowledge, okay, to sharpen their minds or add to whatever knowledge they already have. So because you we all know that employers who seek graduates tend to favor individuals who are highly skilled and competent. So even in EY, we have a lot of entry level positions. I myself is a member of the campus team, so we are the department who only handles entry level hiring. So let's say if you have 1 year and up experience, it's already a different team. So we're really focused on connecting with the schools like JRU with the help of Jobs 180 and other schools so that even before graduation, actually, we can offer as early as 3 months before you graduate an employment contract already while waiting for your graduation date. Okay, so going back, so depending on the sector or profession you're working on and hold a degree in, having specific skills or knowledge can, of course, help you secure a role. So, besides the fact that we all know that being a college student, you are, of course, when you submit your CV or your updated resume, you have an option. I know you already perhaps attended a seminar or a different career talk about that, but we all know that, of course, since you'll be able to have this chance to showcase what you have on paper, but it will still be different if you have that certain skill. And sometimes if you want to create a one pager resume, we cannot put in all the skills that we already have, or if you already have those skills, if you want to add more, then these are actually the important skills that you should acquire, or professional skills that you should acquire actually even before graduating. Okay, so first off is industry awareness. Okay, especially regardless of your course, of course, you should be certain of the background of your industry or which company you're going to apply to, let's say. So this allows you to show a potential employer that you've researched the business. So that's the most common thing, one of the common things that you'll hear during career talks that of course you need before let's say preparing for an interview. You should do your research, not just about the company but also about the entire industry. So how does it work, what are the skills they're looking for, the top skills, whether it's hard skills, soft skills, or whatnot. So this can be invaluable when trying to understand fully what your employer is likely to expect of you. So once you know, let's say, for specifically just for EY alone, okay, not for other companies. Besides, if it's a tech role, besides knowledge about, of course, let's say software development or hardware or whatnot, we also look for presentation skills. Okay, above average English communication skills. Not just because we're really into English speaking applicants, but since EY is an international company, if you're not familiar, or if this is the first time you've heard about Ernst and Young, you can just simply Google it. We're one of the big four financial services company in the entire world, so you can check that out. So given that certain situation, we handle international clients. So that's the reason behind us looking for applicants who can, of course, make sure that we can, communicate with our clients clearly and, accurately. At the same time, you'll be handling accounts specific to international clients. So there, that's the reason behind us wanting to have someone who has good, actually not just good, but above average English communication skills, if not excellent English communication skills. Because even though you started with a company, you're a fresh graduate, you're a new hire, we already treat our entry level or our new associates the way we treat other employees. So we make sure that we give them accounts that are, that they're fit for to handle. So you need to make sure that you're aware of the expectations that the industry will be looking for after you apply to that certain role. Okay. So we already touched a bit about communication skills. So not just, I'm sure it is not just for EY alone, but the rest of the companies present here today for the career talk. So right now, communication skills are really valuable in most of the industries. Okay, especially if you're targeting multinational companies, right? So different types of communication skills include active listening. So again, it's just not how you talk, but how you listen. Okay, because sometimes we tend to answer, right? For example, during an interview, you didn't really understand the question. You just answer whatever was in the top of your mind and it's not connected with the question. So sometimes, of course, there will be miscommunication. And again, tying it up to handling clients. So if the client is saying something, or let's say a prospective client is saying something, then you weren't able to grasp the gist of what he or she was saying, then you just answer whatever comes to your mind. Or if ever you're very conscious, or are not prepared for the presentation, then what happened was you just bluntly answer without thinking of what is really the question or what are they looking for. Okay, so that's why active listening came first before verbal communication. So of course that's very important. And of course written communication, because again, speaking just for EY alone, we tend to not just do virtual meetings with the clients. Also, of course, have exchange email exchanges. We do chats, right? So if you're asking for something from the client, or the client is requesting something from us, of course, it is important that you know how to formally write, your email. Okay, how to properly address it. What are the formal words or the proper words to use, right? And at the same time, nonverbal cues is even part of communication skills. Even right now, we're currently talking about this virtually, okay, but still, even if you're having like a virtual meeting with your client, of course there are non-verbal verbal cues that might be visible, like eye contact, or if you're quite fidgety in your seat, or that seems like perhaps you're not that confident enough or anxious. Okay, so it is important to be clear and concise in the workplace. So you need to focus your communication on what your colleague or client needs or wants to know. So there are a lot of what they call this videos online. You can just check on YouTube. There are a lot of content creators there who will help you from, let's say, from basic English up until to advanced type of English. Even I think you're more into TikTok videos nowadays. So even in TikTok, there are a lot of materials there, content that will help you improve your communication skills. So not do not use TikTok just for for dance moves. Okay, there are a lot of important content there that perhaps you can explore, which will help you land that dream role that you really want. Okay, so when you understand the context of the situation, you're familiar with the best way to deliver messages in your workplace, your communication skills can develop and improve. Of course, like me way back when I'm fresh out of college. I'm not really confident in speaking English, but I was forced to do so throughout the years. So it's not instant. You need to practice. If you have friends or families who are willing to practice with you, that'll be better because you'll have feedback, right? Of course, you need to be willing or open for constructive criticism, right? So if they'll say these are your good points, these are your low points, then you can just improve. Okay, next will be teamwork. Even way back when we are still in preschool, this is taught already in school. Why? Because it's really important even after graduation. So I know you guys sometimes struggle in group works. Even I myself, way back when I was a student, it was really a struggle, a challenge to me in terms of collaborating. There are some group mates that are really not doing their task, right? And sometimes you feel that it's like 90% of the group work was made by you, something like that. So up until when you think that it's over once you graduate, actually no, you will still need that certain team effort. You need still to be a team player, okay? Because collaboration will always be present. Okay, so team is essential, especially in companies who do presentations, even as simple as preparing, for example, on our end in recruitment, even as simple as preparing a new hire orientation schedule. So you need to work with a team, right? You'll be contacting marketing, you'll be contacting the training department, you'll be contacting the admin department. So it's really a collaborative work. Okay, so you can prove to your potential employer that you have teamwork skills by showing them evidence of your ability to work with others and avoid conflict. So within teamwork, it also includes conflict management, right? How do you deal with your emotions? Are you the type of person um, that gets angry if ever, let's say, when something pisses you off, you cannot control your emotions during a team meeting? Or are you not are you easily hurt if your ideas were not picked compared to, let's say, another compared to another person's pitched idea, right? So, other ways you can show these skills once you secure a job include delegating tasks effectively and managing a team of people. So, right now in your school, perhaps, especially if you're a member of an org, that's a plus point because, or any, let's say, a sports team within your school or anything that really pushes teamwork. So that will be an edge, right? Because you're used to it. You're used to managing a team of people, or you're used to delegating tasks. Okay, so being a good team player also requires you to take responsibility for yourself and be accountable for your actions. Okay, again, this is heavy because you need to know, let's say, if you're really wrong or you did something, it was something that was wrong with your decision making, or there was something that you forgot. You need to make sure that you're able to admit and perhaps suggest moving forward, or inform them or assure them that this will not happen again, and think of ways to avoid repeating that certain mistake. Okay. So another is negotiation. So many graduates may not have this certain opportunity to improve their skills in negotiation because some courses are not really zeroing in negotiation skills. Not unless, of course, you're more on, and let's say your course is more or heavy in management or business related, perhaps. So, yet in many industries like finance or law, these skills are really crucial to success. Okay, so you can improve these skills by working on your confidence and improving how you communicate with others. So again, communication still is the key. Um, Bonus if you have your natural charisma with you. So negotiation will be a breeze, right? So need to and if you're, let's say you're someone who has like a small business, like you sell something right online, that's part of negotiation. Even if you're a buyer, let's say you're the type of person who loves to shop online, so sometimes negotiation is there. So we don't realize that we have that skill already, not unless we use it. So you can improve that. So eventually, again, you can by either shadowing with a coworker, identify, you need to first, of course, identify your desired outcome and how you'd like to achieve it. Like buying, if I want this certain item for just 500 pesos and she's selling it for 1,000, so how do I negotiate this or something like that? So it seems simple, but it will really help you once you land a job. Okay, next is, of course, problem solving skills. I'm sure you guys hear that hear this certain skill is very essential more than 1,000 times in your college life, because it is indeed essential. Okay, so employers will require you to prove your ability to problem solve. So this is a skill that can apply to all industries and non-work related life events. Okay, so it is applicable across all industries. So this is how crucial this is. Okay, so being an adept problem solver is valuable to an employer because sometimes most industries or most supervisors and managers try to avoid micromanaging. So if they already trust you, even though, let's say, you might wonder, oh, I'm just an entry level employee, they will not trust me with this type of crucial project. That's what you think. If you think that since you're an entry level, you'll not be handling important tasks, then some companies like EY, we do that. Even though you're I myself, I'm very new in the company. I'm not, I mean, I'm just turning 1 year this June, if I'm not mistaken. But still, I have a lot of huge major projects that are assigned to me and just by myself. Okay, so because if you have a certain problem solving skill and they see that you have that as early as your first or second month, then they know that they can trust you. Okay, that they can leave you all alone with that certain project. So you may be more successful when searching for a job if you show your potential employer that you can see that you have this ability. You need to be pro, you need to think outside the box. Okay, these are the things that you all often hear ever since perhaps you're in high school, right? Think outside the box, you need to be a problem solver. But because that's really an important skill that you should have, that
All around the world, people's lives are better because of Oracle. With a presence in over 175 countries, we are one of the biggest technology companies on the planet. But we operate with the ingenuity of a startup. That's because at Oracle, innovation starts with inclusion. When everyone's voice is heard and valued, we are inspired to go beyond what's been done before, like the world's first autonomous database, the most exciting chapter in the cloud revolution to date. Our self-driving technology is empowering researchers to discover the secrets of our universe and helping the world's leading companies to reimagine what it means to innovate. We are a team of tech enthusiasts who love what we do, and it shows. Whether we're using AI to connect cancer patients to life-saving clinical trials, blockchain to make sure huge cargo ships don't get stranded at sea, or Oracle Cloud to save endangered species from extinction, we take pride in the knowledge that we are making the world a better place. Life at Oracle is designed to bring out the best in you. We don't think your life should be on hold from Monday to Friday. Here, flexible working gives you the freedom to do things your way. Join us and we will give you the support and the skills to write your own success story.
The clinical trial market as we know it is about to change. We're revolutionizing the current state aligned to disparate, slow, and often manual processes. Optum's vision is to transform the drug development process to one that is centered and grounded in real-world patient behavior and physician practice. Optum's ability to access this unique network and fold in the strongest data and analytics expertise will enable us to jointly bring life-saving drugs to the patients who need it most. Join us in this partnership to bring our shared vision for real-time, real-world healthcare research for real patients.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world.
For that, we just lost,
Home to
Miss
formidable
Yel.
brands
We were
with
playing a couple of videos, waiting for her to get back. So let us allow us to fix everything back end, and then we'll come back when she's ready. Just a couple of seconds, guys.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe. JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.
Okay, nagutom ba kayo doon? Ayan. So to everyone, apologies. We just had a technical difficulty reaching Miss Yel and restoring her connection. So her presentation, let's spark it first because right now we have another speaker here discussing another important skill. Like when you go to the workforce, ano yung mga skills na kailangan niyo matutunan. Kasama dito, very important yung communication skills. So let me introduce our speaker. She is Miss Geanelle Lauren Calibo, Learning Executive over at Cognizant Philippines. Miss Geanelle Lauren Calibo graduated from Ateneo de Manila University with a degree in Communications Technology Management. She has over a decade of experience in the learning development field with a focus on English communication skills for business professionals. She had her start in the ESL industry, facilitating virtual English classes for corporate clients in Europe, and she shifted to face, one on one, and group classes for expats residing in the Philippines. She started her career in the BPO industry in 2019 when she joined Cognizant Technology Solutions and has since worked with several projects to improve associates' communication and soft skills to help them be more effective on the phones and meet their targets. When she is not in front of a screen, you can find her in the kitchen trying recipes she finds online or out for a walk enjoying the warm morning sun or the cool evening breeze. Let's welcome to the stage Miss Geanelle Calibo. Hi, ma'am.
Hi,
Hi.
can
Ayan.
you hear me?
Let's test your deck. Yes, loud and clear.
All right. Thank you very much. Thanks, Shari. Let
Ayan.
me start sharing.
Ilagay lang ako ng deck niyo, ma'am. Yes po. There you go. It's loading lang, ma'am, on our end. There
All
you
right.
go. There po. So, ma'am, if ever we experience glitches on your end, we'll cut you po to alert you. Ayan. So, ma'am, the
All right.
floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Shari. Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Janelle Calibo, and today I will be talking about how we can enhance our English communication skills. So, you might be asking yourself, okay, but why do I have to enhance my communication skills? I'm a good fit for the position that I'm applying for. I have good grades. I have a lot of extracurricular activities. I did well in my OJT. My resume is formatted. Everything about me is on there. So, why do I have to have good communication skills? Well, no matter what position you're applying for or the company that you're applying to, being able to communicate effectively gives you a leg up on your competition. There will be a lot of other fresh graduates, or maybe even a few people who already have experience vying for the same position. And being able to comfortably and effectively communicate what you want to say shows interviewers and recruiters that you came prepared, right? So, enhancing our communication skills also helps us avoid these, right? I don't know if these look familiar to you. Number one, it helps us avoid being too shy to speak and being unable to express our thoughts clearly. Sometimes we get too nervous, so we resort to very short answers because we don't want to make mistakes. So we give one word answers, yes or no, maybe just add one more sentence. But this makes us seem like we don't know what we're talking about or that we're not confident, which is definitely not the impression that we want to give. It also helps us avoid running out of words to say because we're not used to speaking in English. Yung nosebleed, right? We say, ano pag-usap dyan, nosebleed yan. Right? So it helps us avoid these situations. So how do we do that exactly? By empowering ourselves. More than, the physical empowerment, this means we need to equip ourselves with the tools and the skills that we need to be able to comfortably and confidently speak in English. Right? But before we get into that, before we start gaining those skills and the tools that we need, let's define communication first. So, communication is when we want to convey a message to someone and we want to be understood. It's a two-way street. Um, when we communicate, it's at the very least between two people. You may communicate with more than one other person, but there's definitely someone that you're trying to talk to, you're trying to get your message across to. So when we communicate, we take on two roles. You are both the person trying to convey a message, but you are also the person who will receive the message. Because after giving your message, of course, the person will reply. The person will probably ask questions. I'm sorry, the phone is ringing. Please don't mind it. They'll be asking you a question, or they might have something to add to the conversation, right? In which case, you need to be the listener. So, as your role as the speaker, what's important is that you get your message across. Now, to be able to do that may vary from one situation to another. You have to adjust your communication style based on the message that you're trying to convey. So let's say it depends on a lot of things. It depends on the person that you're speaking with, right? Their location. Are they right in front of you? In which case, the easiest thing to do is just speak with them. But if this person is in another country or maybe even a different continent, then maybe an email would do. Chat might also be a good way of communicating with them. Another thing to consider with the person you're speaking with is what language are they comfortable using? If they are a foreigner, an American, Canadian, or even people from other countries where English is not the first language, English is still the most common language that we would know and would be the most effective way to communicate with them. But if you're speaking with a fellow Filipino, the most effective way might be just to speak in Filipino, right? So all of these things have to be considered as to how you're going to communicate with them. On the other hand, when it's your time to listen, it's your time to receive information, right? Make sure that you're able to actively listen so that you understand what they are saying exactly. Listen not just to the words that they're saying, of course, that's important, but also listen to how they are saying these things. Do their words match their tone of voice? Are they saying, yes, I understand, but the way that they're saying it tells you that there might be questions. So you might want to expound a little bit more. Today, we will focus on our role as the speaker or the person who is trying to convey a message. So I have to change speaker because sometimes we don't speak to communicate. Sometimes we write the message through email, through a letter, through chat. So there are two ways that we communicate, either written or oral communication. And there are different aspects of communication that we need to consider. Let's start with written communication. So when we write, there are several aspects that, again, we need to consider. First and foremost is our grammar. Since this is written, the person who will receive it and read it will have the chance to read it as many times as they want to really understand the message. And for this reason, we want to avoid grammatical mistakes because it takes away from our professionalism. Same with the spelling. If there are any grammatical mistakes, spelling mistakes, punctuation mistakes, it might distract from the message, right? Or it could also cause some miscommunication because if we use the incorrect verb tense or the incorrect preposition, it might change the meaning of the sentence, which again might cause miscommunication. Okay, so make sure to proofread whatever you've written before sending it. You should also consider your choice of words. You don't want to be repetitive and use the same words over and over again. You want to take a look at your format. Are you going to indent the first line of your paragraph, or is there no need for that? What font type and what font size is appropriate to use for this message? You also have to organize your thoughts so your message flows well and we get our message across effectively. Now, when it comes to oral or spoken communication, there are some similarities to written communication. Of course, grammar is still there. We want to avoid grammatical mistakes, but in oral communication, you can get away a little bit more with some minor lapses. Like if you drop an article there, or you're not able to follow subject verb agreement, you can get away with it a little bit more in oral communication, as long as, of course, it doesn't cause any misunderstandings. You still want to vary your vocabulary, but do not use highfalutin words that might confuse the person you're speaking with. And of course, organize our thoughts so that, again, we get our message across. Okay? Something that is important in oral communication that you don't find in written communication is our pronunciation. Making sure that we enunciate, we say the words and the sounds clearly and correctly so the other person can understand what we're saying. Another thing is our tone and delivery. So, you know that saying, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. Because although you could use polite words like please, kindly, could you, would you, but if our tone of voice sounds angry, if it sounds impatient, if we raise our voice, it comes across like we're angry, right? Or maybe we have a very soft voice and we're stuttering and we're not sure. It sounds like we're not sure about what we're saying. That's also not where we want to be. We want to speak clearly. We want to speak at a moderate pace so we sound confident and sure of what we're saying. And all of these are affected by our tone and delivery. Right? So, no matter which type of communication you want to develop, whether it's written or oral communication, there are 3 tips that I will give you now to help you enhance your communication skills. These 3 are number 1, immersion, comprehension, and application. It's very simple. Let's take a look at each of these, starting with immersion. So, what does that mean? Immersion. If you look at the dictionary, to immerse something means that you dip it or you submerge it in something liquid. Like binababad mo, right? You immerse the meat in the sauce, like binababad mo siya dun sa sauce, right? But to immerse or immersion can also be used in terms of learning a new language or learning a new culture. You, in terms of learning a new culture, you can read everything you can about another culture, like the Japanese culture, the Korean culture, but you will never fully understand that culture until you actually go there and immerse yourself in that culture. Be surrounded by the culture. Walk the streets, see the architecture, hear the sounds, eat the food, be surrounded by the people, right? That's the only way to really learn a culture. And in terms of language acquisition, immersing yourself means everything you do has to be in the language that you are learning. Meaning, we read in that language. And in our case, we're trying to improve or enhance our English communication skills. So everything we read has to be in English. If you enjoy reading books, whether it's fiction like a novel or nonfiction, if you like reading self help books, if you like reading about history, philosophy, read it in English. Or maybe you like reading articles online, right? Or if you're interested in the news, read news articles that are in English. It can be anything. It can also be manga. If you like reading manga, usually they're translated to English, right? So read the English version. If you like reading comics, read English comics, right? This is the best way to build our vocabulary. Why? Writers, authors, they have to use synonyms, like words that mean the same thing, because using the same word over and over again in one paragraph is a big no-no in writing. So you build your vocabulary. You're also exposed to different sentence structures and different ways of saying the same thing. Right? Make sure though that what you are reading is from a reputable source. Very important, especially if you're reading to learn more about grammar or reading to learn more about communication skills. Check the author, check the accuracy, even check the date of publication. Why? Because the rules of a language can change over time. So make sure that what you are reading is updated, it's recent. An example for this is the word email. In the past, it was incorrect to say emails with the letter S. It was considered a mass noun, so you never say emails. But now, it is acceptable and it is correct to say emails. Like, I have a lot of emails to read, something like that. Okay, so read. Also, part of immersing yourself is watching movies, TV shows, videos, documentaries in English. So our ears get used to hearing the language. We get used to hearing the correct pronunciation of words and how certain expressions and idioms can be used in conversation. Right? And lastly, we have to listen in English as well. So if you enjoy listening to podcasts, songs, other media, do this in English as well. All right. So immersion means everything we do has to be in the language that we are learning. So hindi pwedeng we read articles online in English, but the TV shows we watch and the radio programs we listen to are in Tagalog. That's not going to work. And included here is speaking the language, right? So even if all three are in English, you read, watch, listen in English, but you never speak the language, we're never going to improve our English communication skills, right? So number one is immersing ourselves. The second thing to do is comprehension. Okay, so yes, we watch movies in English, read books in English, but if we just read for the sake of reading, like para lang masabi that we read in English and that we practice, but we don't actually understand it or we don't learn anything from it, then value wala. So we need to comprehend. We need to understand what we are seeing, what we are hearing and reading. One of the things that we want to be listening for is pronunciation. So listen to how the actors or narrators, voiceovers are pronouncing words. See if it differs from how you would normally pronounce a word. So although a lot of Filipinos speak English well, for us it's still a second language, right? And sometimes we mispronounce words, and because the people around us pronounce these words a certain way, that's how we learn to pronounce it as well. A very common example here is the word ceremony. So growing up in school, the teacher would always say, okay, line up for the flag ceremony. It's not ceremony, it's ceremony, right? Listen actively. Like for me, I'm still learning and unlearning the pronunciation of certain words. One recent word that I learned I've been mispronouncing incorrectly my whole life is the word integral. All my life, I always thought it was integral. Integral, like it's important, it's integral to your improvement. But apparently, the correct pronunciation is integral. So listen actively as you're watching, as you're listening, listen for their pronunciation. Okay? The second thing you want to be listening for is Filipinoisms. These are words, phrases, expressions that are only used in the Philippines. So if we are speaking with a native English speaker and we use these Philippinisms, there might be some confusion. All right? One cause for this Filipinoism is transliteration. Like we translate literally from Tagalog or Filipino to English. Like in Tagalog, we would say, buksan mo yung ilaw. So when we translate to English, buksan is open. So we say, open the lights. But that's incorrect. Or open your camera so we can see you. You don't open it, you turn it on. Another thing is word usage. So sometimes we use a word or a phrase, but we don't use them in the standard definition of the word. Like, let's do commute, right? In the Philippines, when I say I commute to the office every day, that automatically tells you that I take public transportation to get to work. Right? That's what we mean when we say commute. But the definition of the word commute, when you look it up online, is to travel back and forth regularly. So you could say that I commute by car to work every day, which is very convenient. So you can commute by car, even if you own your own car, that's how you get to work. You can commute by bike, by bus, by train, but your commute is just simply how you get to work. Another thing is sometimes we come up with our own words, just like comfort room. All my life, I've lived in the Philippines all my life. I've never been to a country where they speak English as their first language. So all my life, I thought that comfort room was an English word. It was only after I think I was already working in my first job when I found out that it's only in the Philippines that we say comfort room. Okay, so watch out for these things as you immerse yourself. And the last thing is to, of course, apply. Put to use what you've learned from all your reading, watching, and listening, right? So being able to communicate is a skill and you have to apply it to learn and improve. One way to apply this is simply by thinking in English. You might find it difficult to find someone willing to practice speaking in English with you. They might not see the point. They might feel too self conscious to practice speaking in English. So talk to yourself, right? Think in English. No matter what you're thinking, just do it in English. So instead of thinking, gutom na ako, ano bang gusto kong kainin? Think, I'm hungry. What do I want to eat? Or when you wake up and you've snoozed too many times and you finally wake up and you think, hala, late na ako. Think in English. Oh no, I think I'm late. Right? It's simple and it might sound silly, but it's one way of applying what you learn. Another thing is, of course, practice. Speaking a language is a skill. So just like any other skill, you have to put it to use, right? It doesn't make sense if you just study grammar, if you learn a lot of vocabulary, if you do practice drills to improve your pronunciation, but if you don't actually use it, if you don't actually speak with people in English, then it's all for nothing, right? We have to put it to use. And that's what's important here is correct practice, right? It's important that we correct ourselves when we notice that we make grammatical mistakes, or as we speak, we make sure that we are producing sounds correctly, right? So, for example, another skill like basketball, right? Hindi pwede, for example, that laro ka lang ng laro ng basketball, but you never learn the correct footwork, you never learn the correct shooting form, right? Basta laro ka lang ng laro. If you do that, you will never be as good as someone who has the correct footwork, who is moving efficiently around the court, right? It's the same with your speaking skills. Hindi pwedeng salita ka lang ng salita. You have to practice correct pronunciation, take note of your grammar, and correct your mistakes when they happen, right? And lastly, of course, keep it short and simple. So when you are able to speak with someone in English, especially in interviews, remember to keep it short and simple. Do not ramble on and on thinking you'll impress them by how long you can speak in English. Effective communication means that you're able to get your message across clearly and concisely. The tendency is the more that we speak, the more that we over explain, the more that we run the risk of confusing the person we're speaking with. Right? So that's it. To enhance your communication skills, we have to immerse ourselves in the language and make sure that we are comprehending what we are hearing, reading, and listening. And of course, apply what we learn by practicing speaking English. Thank you very much. Are there any questions?
Thank you for that, Ms. Geanelle. So, everyone, the floor is now open for questions. So, if you have questions for Ms. Geanelle, pwede nyo nang ilagay sa comment section natin. I'll go first. Ayan. So, first question, ma'am. Do many fresh graduates fail the interview or the screening process because of their communication skills?
Well, it really depends on how confidently you're able to communicate, right? Because most companies, especially in the BPO industry, we have a communication and soft skills training. So even before you get to your projects, even before you learn the process, the product, and all of these things, we equip you with the skills that you will need to be effective on the phones. So, for example, in Cognizant, we conduct a 5 day communication and soft skills training. So, just because you don't have the communication skills yet, do not be discouraged. Okay, because the companies provide you with the training that you need to get there to succeed. Okay, but of course, do the work even before you apply. So, right now, I think some of you guys are going to be graduating soon. Equip yourselves with the skills that you need. Practice, watch movies, immerse yourselves, force your siblings, your friends who might want to, who might also be going through interviews soon. Practice with them so that you're better prepared.
All right, thank you for those tips, ma'am. So another question here. If for example you fail or you did not pass the language assessment exam over at different companies, for example, do they give you another chance? Like do they like I remember in one company they had like an academy for those who like did not meet the cutoff pero may konting allowance pa naman to improve. Is it the same for Cognizant?
In Cognizant, you could be reprofiled to a different account. So if you were initially applying for a voice account, you might be reprogrammed to a non-voice account, right? Where you would be doing chat, email, and you'll have more opportunity to check your grammar and things like that. You will still be given communication skills training, of course. Um, so that's one way that we work around it. So please do not be discouraged. Apply. And if you don't pass the first round, I believe you can reapply after 3 months, after 6 months, once you're better prepared for the
Ay,
job.
thank you for that, Miss Janelle. Sigurado na bang walang question from the crowd? Ayan. So, to our audience, the link for Cognizant is jobsready.com/cognizantph. So, you can screen and read through their job vacancies and send your applications through that link. Ayan. So, Miss Janelle, on behalf of JRU and on behalf of my team over at jobsready.com, we thank you for accepting this invite today, ma'am. And we hope that we can invite you again for other sessions for other universities naman po. Ayan. Ms. Janelle,
Thank
thank you,
you.
thank you, thank you. Have a great day, ma'am.
You too. Bye bye.
Yan. Okay. So, to get back on Miss Yel's presentation regarding soft skills, let's put her up. Miss Yel, if you're ready, there you
Yeah,
go.
sorry.
Hi, Miss
Apologies.
Yel. Do you have like better connection right now? Because I can't. It's just black on my end.
Still black on your end. Although
Yes,
it's okay, but
I
can you
don't.
hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you, but it's
Uh,
just black on my end. I can't hear you po. But can we test if your deck is working?
okay. Uh, can you see it right now?
I'm loading lang po, ma'am. Okay, there you go. Ma'am, maybe we can just keep your camera turned off para
Okay.
the transition parang will be smooth lang po. Dito sa deck niyo na lang po tayo mag-focus. Is that okay, Miss Yel? Okay, so Miss Yel, I'll leave the floor to you. Babalik po
Me
ako ulit if ever may glitches po.
now so that I can reshare.
Parang nawala ulit siya, ma'am.
There.
We
Can you still
lost.
hear me, Shari?
I can hear you, ma'am, but the deck is gone.
Shari?
Hello?
Can you
Ayan.
still hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so I'll proceed.
Yes, ma'am. The floor is yours.
Okay. I'm getting anxious. Okay, so so again, problem solving skills. I will not dwell on this further. So you guys are already aware that you should have this. Even as a student, you are made aware that it's a skill which you can apply across all industries, even actually in your non-work related life events, right? So let's move on to leadership. So new graduates may initially struggle, of course, to show leadership, especially if you're not the type of person who ever since is, a born leader, right? There are people really who are, even though they are still a kid, the leadership quality is already there. But some, it can develop over time. Okay, so it's important to show your recruiter, of course, that you have the leadership potential, meaning you can take on major projects, you are good in handling people, you are an active listener who's open to ideas of other people, not just your own. Okay, and you know how to motivate, you know when to give the credit to whom it is due, right? Those are the typical qualities of a leader. So you need to know when to fight for your people, especially if they're the correct one in the certain incident, right? You need to also know when to step back. So, and of course, another important thing is you know how to handle deadlines, right? And delegate tasks appropriately. So, moving on will be organizational skills. So you need to know and show your employers that you are able or you know how to prioritize, because there are a lot of times you'll be given a handful of tasks in one go. Even I'm sure in JRU you experience this, that you have a lot on your plate, you don't know how to handle everything, you have deadlines that are within the same day, for example. So you need to know which task should I do first. Sometimes it depends on the person. Other people, there are some people who wants to start with the difficult challenges first and then move on with the minor task. There are some that are it's more effective with them to complete first all the minor tasks so that they can focus on the major task on the last part or in the final part. So important thing is know your strength, okay? Because if know what works for you, because if it doesn't work for you and you saw videos, read about it, that for some people it works for them, because it might not be applicable to you, right? So because having organizational skills help, of course, the industry or your future company meet deadlines, at the same time save on resources, right? So, second to the last will be motivation. Even in non-work related tasks, you need to be passionate about it, right? Not just passionate about life itself, but of course, you need to find out what's your niche, right? What fits for you? What's your dream role? The good one other thing that you can do is perhaps create your dream board, right? A dream board brand, it's simple. You can either make use of Canva or you can do it manually, right? These are the things that I hope to have 5 years from now, 10 years from now. I want let's say what motivates you. Diba sabi nga sa commercial, ng one coffee commercial, right? So ano ba yung reason ng pagising mo kada umaga? Diba? So will it be your family? Will it be something that you dream about? Whatever works for you. If it works for you to have pictures of your family members, or to have, let's say, your own dream board wherein you can see a car there, a house there, travel plans, right? So if this motivates you, besides of course your passion for that certain work, then it will keep you positive and upbeat. And even through the hardest of all tasks and challenges, you will power through, right? And lastly, of course, creativity. Right now, this is a certain skill that, of course, not everyone has. Okay, so but right now, people are trying to be as creative as they can. Um, if you notice, some content creators, let's say TikTok, some use or YouTube, some use an equipment that's very pricey. Some just use their phones. But even though they just use their phones, some of the um, TikTok creators that has like millions of followers, even though they don't have their own cameraman or whatnot, right? They still can create a good content just using their phone and just videoing themselves, right? So it depends on how creative you are. Because why? Because you can show your potential employer your new ideas and how you'll be able to be, of course, it might be more budget friendly, right? So rather than buying, for example, a 250,000 worth of equipment, if you have your own style, there are a lot of these in IG and TikTok and YouTube, right? Like how to do this certain, for example, photography for just using your phone, some techniques to do that, strategies, right? It is important to stay up to date on new changes and developments in the industry, right? Whether if your, especially if your post is tech related, or let's say even if it's you're a um, you're in marketing, for example, right? Moment marketing is important, so you need to um, stay up to date with the recent happenings so that you'll be able to tailor your ads in what's currently trending, right? So there. And then other skills employers look for in graduates, of course, being resilient is one. When you say being resilient, you need to be able to get up when you tripped over. Let's say there's a certain incident that happened, you'll be able to get through it, get past it, and not dwell on that. So there, and analytical skills, of course, critical thinking, expectation management should be there. Initiative is one that's actually one of the major things nowadays. You need to have that certain initiative. You need to be proactive. You need not to wait for your bosses to tell you, oh, you should do this. Oh, it will be better if you have done this. It's good that, especially if you already know that it will be, let's say, ginawa ko na to before sa school with my group mates. So I think we can apply this to this project. So, you can put your idea out there. You'll never know if it will be perfect for that project, right? So technical skills, even if you're not an IT or your post is not tech related, even above average or at least average knowledge on office applications, MS Office applications is a plus, right? Because you'll be using PowerPoint for, like right now I'm using it. Okay, so you'll be using it for sure. Same with Outlook or other apps that you must be aware of. Adaptability, of course, because there will be different cultures per different industry. Okay, so you need to be able to. That's why you need to do your research before jumping into that certain industry, right? So strong work ethic. So regardless of how talented you are, how skilled you are, if you're a Latin honor student type of person, if you don't have a strong work ethic, then you might not um, stay longer, or they might not you might have a difficult time adapting to your coworkers. Okay, so you need to be, of course, professional. Time management, I'm sure you guys are very much aware of the current news or current celebrity issues regarding time management. So because it matters, it shows respect for your coworkers. If you're going to dial in a meeting 15-30 minutes late, then it shows something. Okay, so you need to be mindful of that. Conflict resolution, so you need to make sure that you'll be able to control your temper. You need to make sure to be logical in terms of solving a certain problem or an incident, right? Inclusion. So right now, inclusion diversity is really um, being prioritized by all companies or most of the companies across all industries. Okay, so and of course self-confidence. Sometimes you think you cannot do it, but if you just believe in yourself and trust that you are trained well from elementary to college, right? There, your professors are always there. So believe that you can. Okay, and if you're quite reluctant or you're um, thinking twice, then perhaps you need more training. So search in TikTok and YouTube, ask for tips from professionals, right? Because sometimes the reason behind us being anxious, or reason behind us not being confident enough, is that we know within ourselves that we don't know that much about a certain topic. Because if you know something, let's say a certain computer game, you've been playing that for 10 years already, and then you try to explain it to a newbie. or someone who's just been trying the game because you already know a lot about it. So perhaps that's one of the main reasons. Okay, so just to give you an idea who EY is before we proceed to Q&A. So EY is present across the globe, not just in the Philippines. So we have a global presence of 69,000 strong. So with that, at least you are aware because it might be the first time that you've heard about Ernst and Young. So at least it will give you a certain assurance that being part of the team will give you an international, that certain experience of handling international clients, right? And you'll be collaborating with different EY offices across the globe. And right now, just to give you a heads up, we're currently hiring for different positions. So under assurance, we have audit staff, we have hiring for tax as well. For consulting, we are heavily hiring for cybersecurity consultant post, and you can also see their application support specialist, PeopleSoft, and SAP. And for core business, we're looking for Japanese speaking IT service desk. Okay, so you can see that we're currently heavy looking for more on tech related posts as of this moment. Okay, so that's it for me. So you can just check our Jobs 180 account in www.jobs180.com/EYGDS, or you can also send your resume link at campus recruitment page at gds.ey.com. For internship applications, you can just simply scan on the QR code. Okay, so that's it for me. Back to you, Shari.
Thank you for that, Miss Yel. Ayan. So, to our audience, the floor is now open for questions. I'll go first. Miss Yel, just a curious question. Why are employers ramping up on fresh grad hiring or graduates programs? Ganyan po.
Okay, well, just speaking for EY alone, not for the rest of the companies here, because of course, we are open for fresh ideas. Okay, that newly graduates can contribute to the company, and since we're a growing company, so we started here. GTS started in the Philippines 2019, and then right now we're already 6,000 strong, and we're going to expand in Cebu as well. So we want everyone to be on board. Having this fresh grads on board is a huge plus on our end, especially for us in campus. That's why we spend so much of our time trying to reach out to different schools and with the help of Jobs 180 as well. Because fresh grads have their own edge compared to hindi naman matanda, right? To veteran actress, veteran employees, right? So
Thank you for that input, Miss Yel. Next question. Kunyari po ako yung job seeker. Ano po ang gagawin ko kung pakiramdam ko hindi naman ako magaling? Like level 1 po ako dun sa mga skills na nabanggit nyo kanina. So parang may kung hanggang level 10, level 1 pa lang po ako. So ano po yung pwede kong sabihin sa sarili ko, or how do I move forward?
Well, that's a good question, Shari. No, because that's why a while ago I informed them to reflect first. What are the skills that you're good at? What are the skills that you're not good at? Okay. Unfortunately, if you need the skills para dun sa career na yon, so you need to level up. Kasi, for example, you're a digital content writer or something like that. Tapos, ang skill na hindi ka masyadong magaling is thinking of new content. So, medyo mahirap talaga, di ba? Kasi very aligned yun sa task mo. But if not, then you can learn it at your own pace, especially in EY. And some of the companies, we already have Udemy, a certain app that helps us. It's free if you're an employee, that can, teach you a lot of things from photography to tech-related skills. Nandun na siya. Yun nga lang, you need to be an employee already. But if you're not yet, like the situation that you give, sabi nga nila, no, cliche as it may sound, YouTube Academy is there, to improve your skills. Kasi it's always up to you eh. If you're open to learning, you'll think of ways. Sabi nga nila, if gusto, maraming paraan. Right? So if you already think, medyo hindi ako masyadong magaling English-wise, So perhaps I can look for, content creators in YouTube or in TikTok or anywhere that I can, there are a lot of free courses online, not just with us. So you can explore that and check, right? So you may be able to improve it at your own pace. So it depends on how dedicated and passionate are you.
All right. So thank you for that, Miss Yel. And thank you for coming back despite the technical glitch, ma'am. Thank
I
you
was
talaga.
surprised kasi when I said, okay, Shari, back to you. And then you're not speaking. Sabi ko, hala, what happened? So
Thank you,
there.
thank you. Thank you, Miss Yel. Miss Yel, on behalf of JRU and of our team, thank you, thank you, thank you. Sa susunod pong mga webinars pa. Ayan. Thank you, Miss Yel. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Okay, so to introduce our last and final speaker for this afternoon, we have Miss Almira Pelingon, Senior Recruitment Operations Specialist over at Optum. Miss Mira is a graduate of BS Psychology from the University of San Carlos and started her career with Optum Global Solutions Philippines last 2017 as a care coordinator. She worked her way up as a senior recruitment operations specialist and is presently taking on a new role in early careers and university relations. Miss Mira will put you up.
Hi,
Hi,
Shari. Good afternoon.
afternoon. Ma'am, can we put your deck up?
Sure.
Ayan.
Let me know if you can see my screen.
Sige po.
There.
There you go.
Okay, great. So, hi, good afternoon, everyone. I would just like to thank Jobs 180 first and JRU for inviting me to speak today. So, what I'm going to talk about is critical thinking. Again, let me just introduce myself again. My name is Almira. I'm part of the early careers here in Optum Global Solutions. So, before I jump right into my topic, I would like to introduce first the company that I'm working with. So if you're not yet familiar with Optum, we are a United Health Group company, which is the largest health insurance provider in the US. So who we are a Fortune 5 company serving virtually every dimension of the health system, and we are approximately now at 330,000 employees worldwide and over 19,000 in the Philippines. So we work with a diverse set of clients across 150 countries, and we touch nearly every aspect of healthcare financing and delivery. And of course, in our day-to-day tasks, we have one mission in mind. It is to help people live healthier lives and to help make the health system work better for everyone. So here are operations in the Philippines. So we currently have four sites. We have one in Alabang, which is located in Philinvest. We also have in Cebu, which is in Calix Building, in Taguig, which is in McKinley Hill, and Quezon City, which is located in UP Techno Hub. We also recently just opened our fifth site, which is in Makati in One Ayala, and to share our career areas here in Optum. So we hire for technology wherein we offer positions for analytics, automation, information security, and data science. For customer service, this is medium to highly complex customer support roles. And of course, for clinical, which is registered nurses, USR and medical coders, and medical allied courses. And of course, we also have shared services or our leadership roles. All right, so now that you know a little bit about the company that I'm working with, let me jump right into my topic, which is critical thinking. So, critical thinking is actually a valuable skill in every aspect of our lives. So, from making decisions in your personal life to interrogating the media you consume to assessing your work with a critical eye, applying critical thinking is an essential skill everyone should be trying to hone. So, but before we can dive right into the how to hone this specific skill, we must first know what critical thinking is. So, critical thinking is the ability to think reasonably, detaching yourself from personal bias, emotional responses, and subjective opinions. It involves the evaluation of sources such as data, facts, observable phenomena, and research findings. So, at a workplace, critical thinking can distinguish you as a leader and a valuable mind to bounce ideas off. So, employers actually prioritize the ability to think critically. And we can find out why in this session. Plus, you can see how you can demonstrate that you have this ability throughout the job application process and up to having that specific job itself. So, why do employers value critical thinking skills? So, the short answer to that question is that critical thinkers make the best decisions most often. And in the workplace, where choices about how to complete tasks, communicate information, relate with coworkers, and develop strategy are so common. That is why critical thinkers are extremely valuable in companies. So during interviews, a hiring manager will gauge this skill by asking you to solve a specific problem. They would ask you how you would deal a specific situation, and basically that will give you the opportunity to use your critical thinking skills. So let me provide you an example of how do you use your critical thinking skills in your job. So your manager, let's say for example, your manager asks you to find an effective solution to a problem that is affecting the business. So what would be your first step? Usually, or like most people, you may also start looking for potential solutions to deal with that specific situation. Well, one requires the use of critical thinking here. So before looking for the solution, you actually need to take a step back and try to understand the cause of the problem first. So thinking of a solution is not the first step. It's taking a step back and trying to understand the cause of that specific problem. You can also ask for the opinions of other people on how does this specific problem impact their day-to-day job or day-to-day lives. So basically, as I mentioned earlier, the definition of critical thinking is um, thinking thinking reasonably. And when you think reasonably, basically you need data. You need sources before you arrive to a specific solution. That is why the first step of finding a solution is getting opinions from other people or researching and trying to understand the cause of the problem. So, if you arrive at a solution, you should not only just rely on one solution as well. Instead, you should always have the various backup plans in case the first solution does not work as expected. All right? Okay. So, let me provide you a visual aid so that you better understand what I'm talking about. So, basically, this is the problem solving loop. So, number one is identifying the problem. Number two is explore information and create ideas. So, in my example earlier, you identify the problem when your manager asks you to find a solution on um, what's the problem that's affecting the specific business. And exploring information and create ideas is when you took a step back and try to understand how or how to deal with that specific situation, and also ask employees on how did this affect their day-to-day job responsibilities. The third one is select the best idea. So basically, once you have identified the problem, you have the information and the ideas, you need to select the best solution that you can think of. And after that, you can build and test that solution and evaluate the results. Basically, it's a loop because once you evaluate the results, if it's still not working, you can identify the problem again from the start and then explore information and create ideas again. So basically, again, it's the problem solving loop. If you're still confused, let me provide you another example. So, critical thinking in choosing the career after you graduated. So, almost all of us face various dilemmas in our lives, such as choosing the stream, the type of job, choosing between the regular college degree or the online program. So, whatever you choose, every option has its pros and cons. However, critical thinking allows us to accurately weigh the positives and negatives of each option and choose the one that offers more benefits than the drawbacks. So the best way to do this is to make a list of the pros and cons, and then analysis. So analyze those pros and cons, so that one can list the pros and cons of selecting to work in a specific company or choosing the right insurance plan. So basically, it's the same with those two. It is often seen that our choices are greatly influenced by the choices of our friends or known, but one should understand that every individual's beliefs, desires, and ambitions are different. So, if the career or job is best for the others, it does not mean that it would be best option for you also. Hence, to choose the right career path, one requires critical thinking. Again, critical thinking lets you weigh the positives and negatives of each option. Okay? So, how to use critical thinking in the workplace? I have actually five key tips here on how you can use critical thinking in the workplace. This is in no particular order. Basically, all of them work hand in hand for you to enhance more your critical thinking skills. So, the first one I'm going to talk about is analysis. So, part of critical thinking is the ability to carefully examine something, whether it's a problem, a set of data, or a text. So, people with analytical skills can examine information, understand what it means, and properly explain to others the implications of that information. The second one is open minded. So, the first step as well of using critical thinking is approaching every situation with an open mind. So, you need to be receptive to all information available, not just the kind that satisfies your preconceived notions, your personal biases, and such. This can be easier said than done, of course. Lessons learned and beliefs held are often done with a reason. But when it comes to critical thinking, it's important to analyze situation independently from your emotions and again, personal biases. So the third one is problem solving. So if you've seen, or if you our previous what do you call this discussion earlier about the problem solving loop. So it's another critical thinking skill that involves generating and implementing a solution and assessing the success of the plan. So employers don't simply want employees who can think about information critically. They also need to be able to come up with practical solutions. Okay. The next one is communication. So once you've analyzed the situation, kept an open mind, and thought of a solution to that specific problem, you need to consider how to communicate it properly. It's all very well and good to approach situations with objective logic, but it doesn't do you any favor if you sound too scripted or too robotic when you communicate that specific problem and solution to your superiors or to your teammates. So use data if available to support your findings, but understand that not everyone is able to remove emotion from situations. So we are all humans basically. Sometimes we can put aside our personal biases when it comes to specific problems. So just keep an open mind again to these kinds of situations. And the last one, the final and perhaps the least obvious one, is application with critical thinking is creativity. Often, getting creative means pushing boundaries and reshaping convention. This means taking a risk. Okay, one that can often be worth the reward. Using a critical thinking approach when getting creative can help you mitigate the risk and better determine what value your creativity can bring. So it will help you and your team try new things and reinvent current processes while hopefully not rocking the boat too much. So again, critical thinking is actually a valuable skill for all aspects of life. It's not just limited to your professional life, but also in your personal life. It benefits problem solving, creativity, and teamwork, and it translates particularly well to the workplace where it can distinguish you as a valuable employee and leader. So, taking the extra time to examine things objectively, make decisions based on logic, and communicate it tactfully will help you, those you work with, and your work goals prosper. So that is it. Let me just leave you a quote that we believe here in Optum. It's what makes you special can inspire your life's best work. So if you want to know more about the company and the job openings that we have, you can check our website, work@optum.com, and also jobs180.com/optum. So that's it. Thank you so much for your time, and I hope you learned a thing or two. Back to you, Shari.
Thank you for that, Miss Mira. So, to our audience, last chance to put in your questions for our speaker this afternoon. So, to give you time, I'll go first. Ma'am, do you believe that you can't enhance your critical thinking skills if you're not even practicing it? Like, if you're not aware that you have to use your critical thinking skills or decision making skills, that you're like getting on a stagnant phase here.
Just like anything else, not just critical thinking skills, practice makes perfect. It's actually a cliched quote because it's true. You can just enhance something if you're more exposed to it, if you practice it. And as I mentioned earlier, critical thinking skills is not just applicable to a job setup or in the professional setup. So you can practice it in your personal life. Maybe just thinking of what course to take or which job to accept. Basically, you can apply those critical thinking skills in those areas.
There you go. Second question, ma'am, leads me to my second question, which is because we've always, it feels like growing up, it feels like we've been always told what to do. That is why
Mm-mm.
parang it hampers our decision making skills. Gagawin ko ba yun? Kasi sabi mo ganito eh. So, we just wanted an assurance, like from someone who works or spent her time in the corporate setup na po. Na this is a skill that they can improve on all throughout their lives, na hindi naman kailangan magaling agad. Parang ganun.
Mm. Basically parang ako din naman when I was in high school, parang dictated na din sa akin on what course to take up for college. So I didn't use my critical thinking skills when choosing the course that I should uh, take because of course my parents naman tayo and they were the ones who spent for our tuition. So basically they decided on what course to take. So most of us most probably is experiencing that. So maybe the assurance that I can give you kasi not all the time naman our parents are there when we make decisions. The simplest decisions that we make, just for example, what clothes to wear, where to eat for lunch, where to eat for dinner, where to go during the weekend. So sometimes critical thinking can be applied to that one. As I mentioned earlier, the simplest of tasks can we can do or practice our critical thinking skills. As I mentioned earlier, hindi naman siguro sa lahat ng oras nandyan yung parents to dictate us on, oh, dapat 8 a.m. bumabangon ka na, dapat 9 a.m. nakaligo ka na, something like that. So basically, there are fragments or pockets of time wherein we are left alone to decide on our own, basically. So as I mentioned earlier, since most of you here are graduating students, you don't have any work experiences yet. You can look back to the things that you've decided before, like somehow that compiled on where you are right now. And siguro yung need mo lang talaga is self-awareness on if you think that you need to hone this specific skill. There are lots of sources na in the internet. We are in this generation na everything that you want to learn is all available online. So leverage on that, like YouTube, TikTok even, or maybe just simply reading articles on the internet. So that will be a very big help for you.
There you go. So thank you for sharing your story, Miss Almira. On behalf of JRU and our team over at Opportunity, thank you so much for accepting our invite, and we look forward to having you in future webinars. Thank you, Miss
Thank
Almira.
you. Thank you, Shari. Have a great day.
So to our audience, we are officially done with our webinar for this afternoon. So we give the floor to Miss Lorraine R. Parangue, our GC, Director for Guidance and Testing Office, to give us the closing remarks. We'll put you up, ma'am.
Hi everyone, good afternoon. Can you hear me? Narinig
Yes,
ko ba?
ma'am, I can hear you.
Ayun.
Yes, yes.
May delay lang po pasensya na po at ang ating internet dito sa Pilipinas ay sadyang ganun. Okay. Good afternoon, Rizalians, and good afternoon to our resource speakers. Ang dami po rin natin natutunan sa kanila. I love to listen to their stories when they are students and how they become a professional. And ang saya pakinggan. And I even look back of what happened to me when I was in college. And now that I'm here also as one of those people who will help the future generation. So I hope that our Rizalians, our students, graduating students who are graduating, was able to take note the tips on maximizing your internship training. Like for example, developing your skills. So you have a chance to develop your skills, your habits, your attitudes, and even manage your time effectively. Because I know that you have to attend to some of your personal needs, and yet you have to attend to the requirements in your internship and also to our school. Okay, but we're able to manage effectively because that is part of training when you become a professional. And of course, they shared other tips, no? Lalo na sa mga kwento nila. Nandun yung mga nakapaloob din yung mga tips na wala doon sa kanilang na i-share sa kanilang presentation. Pero doon sa kwento nila, sa kanilang buhay, sa experience nila, marami ka na rin makuha. So I hope that you really listened and take note of those experiences and lessons they also. We hope that the insights provided you, okay, uh, that will help you also create or revisit your career plan, okay, and hopefully that you will also plan to enhance your communication skills and your critical thinking skills because we learned that these are skills needed in the profession. Okay, just like I would like to quote yung sinabi ni Mariel, why? That kung gusto mo, maraming paraan. Which is true. If you really want to succeed, become successful in your life, you have to do something. You have to move. May gagawin kang paraan. Kasi ayaw mo na hindi mo ma-achieve yung goal nito. And I hope that this moment of time, whatever you have learned, you will keep it to yourself and use it at the right time, okay? And start na natin, i-review, i-check yung ating sarili. Na-acquire ko ba yung mga skills na nabanggit kanina ng mga resource speakers? Kung wala pa, paano kaya ito gagawin? Kailangan ba ng tulong sa bagay na yan? Okay, the Guidance and Testing Office is here to help you. Aside from your department, we are here to help you guide in your or aid your career plan. Kasi we also want you to become successful and be able to find your inner hero because someday you will be once hero. You are a hero, but you need to find your inner hero now. Okay, so good afternoon and have a blessed evening. Saya afternoon na, evening.
Thank you for
Wala.
that, Ms. Lorraine.
There.
Ayan. Thank you for that, Lorraine. Medyo choppy lang po ng konti yung dulo. Okay na po. Thank you po.
Oo. Ayan, okay. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you, ma'am. Ayan. Have a great day po. Okay. So to everyone, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. Please don't forget to evaluate the event. So we'll put the QR code for the evaluation and attendance. So Recordings of this webinar will be posted via the jobsready.com Facebook page and YouTube channel, and it will also be available via Resilient Career and Placement Facebook page. For further information, please make sure to follow Resilient Career and Placement Facebook page for webinars and other announcements regarding career and placement services. So to our audience, thank you for attending our session this afternoon. We'll put the attendance link on the comment section. And to everyone, to all of the graduating students, we look forward to having you in the workforce. So stay safe, everyone. Have a great afternoon.
Jollibee Foods Corporation is one of the largest and fastest growing Asian restaurant companies in the world. Home to formidable brands with Jollibee at the helm. It operates over 5,800 stores spanning 35 countries across Asia, North America, and Europe. From its humble ice cream house beginnings to becoming a dominant industry leader, JFC's business model has sustained profitable growth for 4 decades, evidenced by its steadily increasing net sales, profit, and stock market performance. It is the recipient of numerous international accolades, from Best Employer to Most Outstanding Corporation, to Asia's most admired company. JFC continuously gives back to the communities it operates in through the Jollibee Group Foundation. Its core programs are centered on food security, alleviating hunger so children can continue their schooling, and connecting small farmers to sell their produce to large institutions to uplift their livelihood. Through consistent taste superiority, outstanding value for money, and the highest quality of food, service, and cleanliness, coupled with the talent and commitment of its world-class organization expanding across the globe. JFC delivers on its mission to bring the joy of eating to everyone. Taking it closer to its vision of becoming one of the top 5 restaurant companies in the world. This is Jollibee Foods Corporation.